Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the main gaming NA versus EU showdown. We're back tonight with our North American section, and we're looking at Group A versus Group C. You can see the teams that make up these two competing groups. One thing I want to point out is Group B, obviously on the sidelines, that contains our first place team, Seven Kings, as you can see there. But moving right along, you guys know it if you've been here with us the past couple of days, but our map rotation is 5 maps, starting out with 2 Erangels, heading over to Miramar twice, and then back for 1 more Erangel. We've been playing the same map rotation throughout the entire 30-game regular season. Just a quick look here, ladies and gentlemen, at our prize pool breakdown. The regular season consists of $1,000, 500 for North America, 500 for Europe, and you can see the top 4 breakdown for each region there. And heading into the finals, we're stacking it extra deep with $4,000 also being spread out to the top 5 placements there. Obviously, the big prize, $2,000 to our first place team.
Absolutely, and thank you there, Stento. Some general information coming down for the NA versus EU showdown. And again, I'm Blitz5 here with my co-host Stento. This is week 2 qualifiers for NA right now, and things are getting pretty exciting because we're getting close to that halfway mark. We just kind of hit that with EU, and we have a few more days with NA because we have a few more teams, as we just kind of saw with the grouping. And when we're looking at the leaderboards, we have to take into consideration that not all the teams will have played the same amount of games. So this does get a little bit confusing, but at the end of the day, you just want to be in the top 9, right, Stendo? We're actually going to take 9 from NA instead of EU to go into the finals. So in first place right now, we have 7 Kings. They're at 195 points. We just had our first EU teams kind of eclipse the 200-point mark. So 7 Kings are right there because they haven't played yet today at all. And then also, just a quick disclaimer that we did have some issues with the EU games. We had to postpone 3 of the matches. We're going to decide if we're going to play those games, make them up, or how we're going to take those, maybe discard them. The PUBG servers went down earlier today. That kind of affected, I think, all platforms and all regions. So unfortunately, we are at the mercy of PUBG. If anything like that happens during the games, we kind of just have to bear with it, do our best. We tried to wait a little while and then move on. So hopefully no issues tonight. The PUBG servers are back and running, but just so you guys know, that is a possibility when we're doing these types of things. So look out for 7 Kings in first place, followed by AFI, and then the Console Killers in 3rd, Toxic in 4th, Vigorous in 5th, Torch in 6th. The Dub Hub moved up to 7th, Abnormal Esports in 8th, and Phase 9 in 9, and then a bunch of teams here in the lower 70s, mid 60s, a lot of teams in that 40 range. So all it takes is one big game to kind of come back in and get closer to that top 9. Then we have some quick stats here, just some kill leaders for the NA side. 2 members of AFI, Warhawk, Boatman, and then Pixel. Then we also have some of the damage leaders here. AFI Hobie with a whopping 6,300 damage. Pixel in 2nd, Warhawk in 3rd. One of the Dub Hub members making it onto 4th. Always nice to see their logo. They got a dope one there. And then Zality rounding out the top 5 again. 2 members of AFI. Then we have a head-to-head comparison, which is something we just brought in to the broadcast here. This is 7 Kings versus Affinity, 2 of the top teams. You can see that Affinity is just 9 kills behind the 7 Kings, but they're actually a little over 2,000 damage behind that team. You can see how they kind of stack up a little bit better placement, but lower points from the 7 Kings. So it looks like 7 Kings are just getting a few more kills there, out maybe more assist points and stuff like that as well. And then the total MVP so far for the tournament is going to be Hobie with a total score of 86. And right now, really, a lot of his stats are going towards the teammate, survivor, and utility side. Sento, a cool kind of feature we've just brought in. And with that, perfect timing because we are actually have the flight path for game 1. Again, I'm Blitz5 here with my buddy, co-caster, and founder of Main Gaming, Stento. What's up, dude?
Yeah, take a look at the map, ladies and gentlemen. We're heading from the George Pool Harbor there down to Milta Power. We know a lot of teams like to land in this Milta Power area, so a lot of the map wide open for these teams here. We're going to keep a close eye on the map, ladies and gentlemen, and see if there's any sort of a hot drop here. One thing I want to point out, Blitz, center of the map, Dub Hub are going to be all alone in that area now. We don't have the 187Zs on the roster tonight, as they are in Group B, watching from the sideline. So a place we've been getting a little bit of accustomed to seeing some hot drops is going to just be the Dub Hub in that area now, as Circle 1 does pop, centering up on Yasnaya, one of our top teams. CK going to be in a really good spot to start this one.
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody and myself here who's going to be out in Group A. So no Main Gaming, no Affinity, no Dub Hub, Torch, Ascension Esports.
Oh, I'm sorry, Group B. Group B is out tonight.
Oh, sorry about that. Group B, because that's right, 187Z. That's my apologies. So we're missing the Bloodhound Gang, Shooter's Instinct, Eno, Toxic, Phase 9, 187Z, the Seven Kings, and RMV. We'll get back into the circle here. See where some people have landed, what we have going on here. Some teams kind of close together. One member of AFI at hospital, kind of fleeing from Vig, but it looks like they might have spotted or know that somebody's over here.
Yeah, they're definitely curious, Blitz. Gravy's kind of poking around, peeking the tree both sides. They know someone was close, and they have actually spotted him on the way out. Can he get to the 3-story? AFI is looking to make up a lot of ground tonight and take over first place. If you do take a quick look at our leaderboard, Blitz, I'm not sure if we have that ability. While we do have a brief moment, you showed it as we began here, but the Seven Kings, who are sitting on the sidelines here tonight, are in first place with 195 points. Affinity only 15 points here. So over the course of 5 games, we're going to expect Affinity. Their average was 12 points a game, as we saw that team-to-team showdown. So they should take a big jump over Seven Kings tonight. Several teams will have something to say about that. Vigorous, Console Killers, Torch, and the Dub Hub, Abnormal. Lots of teams in the conversation here. But snapping back to our map, Blitz, it's kind of wide open right now. Nothing too much going on in the zone right now, and a lot of people over in the George Pool area.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about a lot of, it's interesting being in the NA games already, because unfortunately for people that are listening, we had some issues and we had to cut out with EU, so just didn't really get the full 5 games that we're used to. I think we finished out 2 before the servers went down, so trying to get back into the action here with NA. And obviously some of these teams played yesterday, and then tomorrow will be really interesting to see when everybody finishes out all of their games. We'll have to kind of take a look at the match games too, so you guys can see that if I can bring up the other part of the leaderboards. But as you mentioned earlier, another sunny day on Erangel. I'm still hoping for no major issues here. I also mentioned to Stento a while back that, with PUBG being the way it was for us console players out there, we're kind of unfazed by any sort of issues at this point. But if you've been playing PUBG console recently, there has been a lot of kind of server and reconnection issues trying to get into the games and into the lobby, which has been a little bit frustrating, kind of just constantly having to spam A to get back into the games. And it unfortunately still affects us, even though we're on custom game settings.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry to jump in there real quick, but Abnormal kind of striping through the center of the map here. I want to get on board with them with their rotation here. They might end up rotating into some of the Dub Hub here, hanging out in the compound. So they're going to drop off onto this Volcano Hill. It looks like the Dub Hub potentially getting interested a little bit. So Abnormal 4 deep on this hill here. The Dub Hub is now pulling up, joining in on this fight here. Brody and the rest of the gang there. K-Dub actually out here on the battlefield. I didn't see that originally, but K-Dub, Brody, Cheech, and Albos making up the Dub Hub on the other side all have pulled up to this compound here. And we've got a little bit of an early game action here, 4v4 on Volcano Hill versus this garage building.
Yeah, very nice. Did not notice that as well. I'm going to assume that this is the real K-Dub here, who is kind of the founder of the Dub Hub, who does occasionally fill in for the Dub Hub. And really, they've gone through so many different teams over the years, but so things have changed a lot. But right there, they just left. Abnormal is gone. And I guess, it's a pretty aggressive early fight. I was actually excited to see that, but it makes sense that they move on from that, in my opinion, at this point. Dubhub is currently in 7th place. Abnormal is in 8th place. So, they're right on the cusp of being outside. And even though we still have tomorrow and then a whole nother week of qualifying, that's going to go by fast. It goes by a lot faster than you think, Red Cent. I mean, even us casting, time is kind of flying by, even though each day in and out, the games might be long, but then it kind of goes quicker than you think.
Yeah, we're almost, halfway. I think by the end of this week, 2/3 of the way through the regular season. All the work and time that goes into this behind the scenes, it's kind of bittersweet how it appears to be flying by, but we're actually catching some action here at Hall of Fame. A knock onto Waxed, and then a trade instantly back onto T-Locks here. So we're gonna tune into this battle a little bit late, but I think a couple people are landing on the roof here, Blitz. We must have missed an emergency airdrop situation.
I was gonna say that there's no other way to get up there that I've ever seen other than a pickup. And PI drops off. This is Molotov here. Almost takes out. Who is this? This is RR First. Not sure if I recognize that name coming in from RR. They barely survived that fight. Nap Time is low health, and he dies. And that's going to be it for PI. So they had a, I guess, failed landing onto the Hall of Fame there, and RR is going to pick up 3 kills, and Wax is by him getting a revive. I thought he was by himself, but he's getting revived by RR Crack. And maybe my memory's just not serving me well, but I do feel like 2 of these members for RR could be new for the squad. I recognize Waxed and Tragic End, of course, but some of the other names I don't really recognize right now.
I want to take a quick look at the leaderboard, but it's not on here. I'm just trying to personally, on my side of things, taking a look at the leaderboard. RR, I think they've had a rough start. Yeah, they're back down in 22nd place. So keep an eye on these guys. We've seen them have some good roles in our weekly series here and there. But they've got a lot of work to do. That's a good start for them, picking up some kills. But again, they have a lot of work to do, so we'll keep a close eye on RR tonight. They're already moving into better location here. We're watching, I believe, Winner's Circle now pull into a very popular area in the map, so it's starting to get very crowded on the south side of Yasnaya. If you do take a quick look at your map, there's several teams hunkered in that southern side of Yasnaya now. CK still hanging out actually in Yasnaya, but right now we're going to see a little bit of a stalemate here as a few other teams are making their way in on the edge. Most teams have already found their way kind of somewhere centered up.
Yeah, something interesting, Zento, is a lot of times we've watched games. This circle is very common in the esports kind of ranked world, and we've watched circles like this where no team is above Yasnaya, and sometimes it goes up that way. So we're seeing Torch and TDT kind of play up there, potentially getting ready for some kind of crazy circle shift. Obviously, it's way too early for us to guess where this is going to go. I would imagine it's going to stay somewhere on the east side of this river, though, cutting in here, because it would have to cut pretty far back to the northwest, to stay there. And we're seeing a few teams now trying to rotate into the bottom. AFI is going to get kind of close to Vigorous here. Vigorous is always kind of just not content where they are. And this is where we see them sometimes lose teammates early, because they'll just keep kind of shuffling around and kind of separating from one another. So I'm hoping they kind of get locked down in this compound and survive a couple circles, because Vigorous is a really good team to watch right now. And Winter Circle's kind of doing the same thing, Stento. They already rotated people before. Now 2 members are still kind of rotating through as well. They don't really have a great home. They're going to take this ditch for right now, and I guess wait till the circle pops.
Yeah, this is a popular spot, but not one you want to be in too early. So they're gonna kind of hope that this circle can kind of shift something for them and maybe open something up. But Winter Circle will be okay here. Excuse me, okay here for now. But we're about to see this first circle up, Blitz. Just a second now until we learn a little bit more. There you go. Heavy shift towards Prison, in Mansion, and Shelter. So a lot of teams are still in zone right now, but there's a lot of zone wide open on that east side of map between Mansion, Prison, all wide open. We do see a team in Lipovka that might start to make their way off the side of the map and take some of that good real estate on the east side. But right now we're starting to see some of the teams rotate. Maybe we want to hop on board with Winter Circle. We just saw them take that ditch, and now Kofri, I believe their IGL leading them into a new location. They're going to take Alamo, is what I like to call this spot here with the walls. And I'm not sure if they're going to take this as a 4-man. It looks like it, Blitz. This is a decent spot. They'll have to do their best to keep their cars in play right now, but They're pretty centered up here. They're going to like this spot, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it helps out. They got the motorcycle definitely hit, and the Coupe is in a pretty good spot. Bougie with a quick response onto our first 93. No reason to really push backwards on this, I feel like, for Winner Circle, but I guess if they feel like they're getting some good knocks here as this continues on, we'll see. Maybe, you know, they'll make a smoke wall and push, but right now, Hall of Fame is pretty tough to push, and likewise, it can be pretty hard to get to the Alamo as well, which is why they call it that, because it's really just in the middle of nowhere there. And we'll see. MG is here at Heaven watching AE rotate. Mansion and Prison are open. So is the bunker outside of Prison. SSG just took the compound on the hill outside of Lipovka. A&E heading into the woods here in the swamp area, maybe looking for that or to move into Mansion as well. Dub Hub kind of rotating into Shelter. Vigorous getting a care package at their compound, which is going to be great for them. Vigorous, they got a strong team today, Stento. Noxie's not always here, but they got Noxie, Kidzo, Prodigy, and Grav. So great squad here for the team. And looks like they called this incident. I feel like we've been seeing a lot of called in care packages lately. These teams are getting lucky finding a lot of care packages. That's just me. I feel like we see that often when before. I feel like they would be fairly rare here and there.
I've got my eyes on the center of the map. It looks like CK pulling up on MG Blitz. Let's get over there. Probably get into CK's perspective. They're going to have the low side. They're going to have some nades on MG right now. As long as a third party doesn't come in, they're in a decent spot right now, although it might not feel like it for them. A knock or two onto MG really going to open the gate for them to push here. So MG's going to need to be careful to hold strong and be very careful with their peaks. CK has been a very good team so far in this tournament. I believe they're hanging out in third place. Came out extra hot. Tons of wins in the first day. I love to see Turbot in this lineup, as we saw him drop out for a day or two and they did struggle. He seems to be kind of their lead fragger, flanker type of a player. So I'm happy to see him involved right now in Bazaar, getting extra curious to figure out where these members for MG are. He's spotted the one member of MG going up the stairs, going to put down some decent damage. The rest of main gaming is going to want to show up here as soon as possible. They've all flooded this Windows building right now, Blitz.
Yeah, MG needs to get over here to help out Ernst. We're watching an interesting view. He put a Molotov down, and someone's on fire on CK's team going up the stairs. But now they've overrun this building. Ranger gets knocked out from Asper, and that was a big knock here on the second level. Bazaar takes out Polaris. That is a nice trade here coming down, and going to come with the quick thirst. Ernster also went down, so it's 2 members down for main gaming. It's bad up on Asper. I was worried about the Stento. They just were a little slow to figure out what they were going to do. I think they could have called back Ernster or maybe grouped up a little stronger here.
Yeah, absolutely. They seemed a little slow to react. They knew people had pulled up there. You know, the nade started to come out. I'm not sure if Ernster had the opportunity to get out of there, but if he doesn't, you know, Bad Apple and Asaburn need to show up a little quicker. You know, Asaburn did show up with a knock, but it's not enough if they're not going to push onto it. So this looks like an opportunity. I'm kind of scaling my way above. Yeah, AE has seen an opportunity here, Blitz. And I'm going to get into Italian's perspective here. As we talked about a couple times yesterday, he's got the M249 leading the way for this team, as he often is.
Yeah, and Bad Apple and Acid Burn are really in a tough spot. I mean, this building can provide you some good cover from a push like this because it really only has that one main entryway. You can climb in through some of the windows on this one because of things, the way things are situated. Italian with a nice nade on Acid Burn, and now the wheels are just falling off Stento. The team is moving in here to clear out. Gets the flush. They know someone else is probably here, at least off the knock. They know someone else is alive. Throble's coming into the back door. Just waiting for the right time here. DD getting a heal on the ground, and Watch is coming in, securing the last kill on Bad Apples. And main gaming, unfortunately, knocked out second here out of all the teams. And, you know, this is going to hurt them. It's only game 1, but they're 14th on the list, and they need to, you know, have a good game so they can climb closer to the 8th place. And now CK is on the push as well.
Yep. CK wasting no time at all. It was a quick nade to start things off, and then Bizarre pushes in with the AUG, takes down Italian. This is turning into a mess now. Kathy's there for a little bit of a trade, but Ranger Jr. there for a trade of his own. So they got to get Bizarre up, but Turbot is already on the top floor. They have one final member to figure out where he's at right now. Turbot been playing great.
A nice nade by Watches and then knocked there. That was just amazing
wow,
throw.
That was a double kill by Watches. I didn't see that the nade knocked one, and then he took down Turbot. So Watches doing all he can to turn the tide here as a solo. He jumps out, and Ranger Jr. spotted him when he jumped out. So CK, I think they're going to be able to get back to 4 strong here in Watches. Some impressive one-man plays there. But again, Ranger Jr. spotted him as he jumped out. So a very good job by CK. Are they not going to get Pixel up? What is Ranger doing? That's the first knock. Oh my gosh, I saw him run by it, and I saw Pixel tick down here.
Yeah, definitely pretty close. And now is Torch here as well, Stento?
That's funny. I love that Ranger Jr. has already. Okay, he was fully aware that Torch was here, so he was playing cover there, Blitz. I didn't really realize that. A nice dime of a nade from Chrism has opened things up here, and a molly to close it out. Wow, CK quickly into a world of hurt here as Torch finding a nice opportunity to push onto a third party of yourself. This is a third party from AE, and then another third party from CK, and a fourth party from Torch. So they keep stacking onto this compound, Blitz.
Yeah, this compound is just under siege for the last couple minutes here, which is absolutely incredible, and no one has successfully held this building yet. So will it be different for CK? Let's see. I mean, they're on a roll right now, but it's hard when your feet are when you're backpedaling here, trying to get revived. You're not at full health. You're trying to get boosts and get your throwables back, and they're kind of wasting a lot of that stuff attacking here. So Torch should be in a much better position for this. Now they're kind of surrounding the building. I'm just curious if they're going to try to use any kind of vehicles or something to stand on to get up top and get a different angle instead of just pushing in. I also want to see from Tick's perspective and the rest of Torch where their lethals at, because OH has a lethal, but he's not there. All the other lethals are out. They caught someone on the bottom floor. Wiz goes down. Tick trades on the quick push. I think Tick got stuck behind his teammate Chris there and wasn't able to go for that other trade, and CK is going to start flushing out here, and it's just OH left. OH needs to decide. It might be worth it for him just to leave. He's going to throw in a low nade. This could take out Bizarre and flush Pixel. It's not going to hit. Wiz is still up. OH gets caught. I don't know how he didn't get knocked there, and now he's just going to try to switch position so he doesn't get hit with a random nade.
Oh, I was kind of waiting for you to fill in there, Blitz, so we kind of missed some of the action. But I think Turbot, yeah, again, a couple players kind of get caught on each other there, and Turbot was able to clean up them both at the same time. And Pixel for CK takes down the final member of Torch. So I'm gonna just be honest, a massive failed push when they opened up with the knock and a thirst onto Ranger Jr. there. And CK was able to just lock this building down as a 3-man and handle the rest of Torch. So big kills coming out for CK, already up to 11. But we're switching over to Hall of Fame. A massive fight breaking out between the Dub Hub, RR, and AFI, one of our top teams here. Some are on the roof, some are on the ground. There's knocks all over the battlefield here. It looks like Dub Hub have taken an airlift onto the roof, Blitz.
Yeah, second team on the roof today here, which is interesting because you don't really see people go up here that often. And to see two teams back to back. We're trying to tap in, but there's so many smokes going on. It's hard to see. AFI is getting kind of obliterated in the zone. I think it's just Hobie left potentially. We obviously just caught this a little late. There's also some third-party shots coming in from around the way. And that's AFI eliminated in 11th place, Stento. You would not expect that this early on.
Yeah, we kind of got over here a little bit late. Maybe they crashed onto this. We didn't exactly see how it happened. I assume it was somewhat simultaneous to the Dub Hub landing here, because I don't think Dub Hub was here. I think that RR had control of this for most of this game. So emergency airlifts, emergency pickups, whatever we're calling them these days, playing a massive factor here. And right now we watched him pull into that location super early, Blitz, but Winter Circle in prime location now, basically the only hard cover of that Alamo location. But right now lots of shots lines being striped across this map here, and we're tapping back into Brody or the Dub Hub here. They're picking up some kills onto Vig. It looks like Vig getting down all the smoke they can right now, Blitz, and this might be a hectic time I'm not sure Vigorous are going to be able to work their way out of this. They've got so many teams on them. I was going to suggest this is one of our teams for an Astro listen, and we'll try to figure out a good time to jump in. There's a lot going on. Blitz, maybe now is a good time.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looked like they might get eliminated there, but if they're going to stay alive, ABN is coming in over the top. It could be worth it to just hop in. They just ran over Kidzo, though. Are we going to give them the pressure? Noxy going down as well. You make the call. Let me know if you want to go in there. It's going to be, it could be
probably a good time. It's a little too much going on, so we'll just kind of watch from above right now. Brody has an angle at all this, and it's important to look at the north side. Crazy Mob, the 3-man of them, starting to join up with this. They're trying to get a res on the Noxy, excuse me, and Crazy Mob Slumpto walks over the road and finishes up the final member for ABN. That's Abnormal going out in 9th place. And now the Crazy Mob actually have some decent angles on Vigorous here. But it's Cheech laying down some really good shots on the Crazy Mob, so they're not quite able to push over the top onto Vigorous right now, as Dubhub providing a little bit of cover fire.
Yeah, this is a really interesting circle, Sento. Vigorous really stuck in that spot, and somehow they're still alive after all of this. We're 8 teams left. Kind of want to see who just remains for Vigorous. They still have 3 up after all of that. Kidzo got yeeted by the car, so I guess he got taken out of the smoke. Crazy Mob's gonna try and make a push. They're in zone right now. They just don't have a lot of cover where they are. Yeah, Vigorous does survive this. It could be a good time to switch back. Dubhub does have a little bit of the Hall of Fame in there. Musty, who was just a solo on the bottom side, gets taken out, so we're down to 17s. And now there's a lot of fighting on the northeast side. I'm going to switch over here until we see what kind of develops on the bottom side of the circle. TDT just getting eliminated by SSG. 2 members left, Soup and 30mm here. Winner Circle this whole time has just been hanging cool in the compound. They were able to pick up 4 kills. They got to be pretty happy here with their situation and with their location.
Yeah, I'm kind of taking a look from above right now. There's still 6 teams up. Winner Circle's 4 deep, Dubhub 4 deep. A couple of 3-mans out there in the form of Console Killers and Crazy Mob and Vigorous. And we were just watching that SSG squad. With 30M and Soup as a 2-man. So a very interesting circle here. It's wide open besides that one compound that Winner Circle has. And teams are starting to shift around on the north side here. Vigorous is just playing that northwest edge, but Crazy Mob starting to get a little bit closer to Console Killers here. This is where we want to go, Blitz. We got to get over to Slumpto right now. Starting to lay down some shots onto Bazaar. Put him down to 1 shot. A little bit of the team is helping here, and Slumpto actually takes him down there. 4x on the M4. Working for him, and that teammate Problems is going to get the thirst there. Vigorous now getting into their own vehicles and starting to rotate through all of this. And in the meantime, a nice bolty shot from across the way. 30mm for SSG, taking down one of the members of Crazy Mob. So this has turned into a crazy end zone here. And Vigorous pulled up on the meantime
Successful
in SSG.
crash.
Yeah, Vigorous, I think Prodigy with the Groza picks up both of those kills. They're going to be able to get Noxy up here, and this side of the zone slants off, so they're going to be able to kind of hang out on this side of zone. Meanwhile, the Dub Hub starting their own push onto Winner Circle simultaneously as Crazy Mob pushing onto the Dub Hub here. So we're watching Problems. There's tons of smoke on the ground right now, and they're fighting two fights right now. Droppa lasers Turbot with the AK, straight headshots here, and now Problems is pushing his way into the smoke blitz. What can he see? Nothing on the backside. Pixel is hanging out on the edge here. Can he spot him? Nice and quick. He does take him down. Took a second there. Lots of smoke on the field, and again, his team is fighting another battle. Flumpto has been taken down, I believe, from across the map. I think it was Vigorous that is starting to lay down some long-range fire. We know how good they are with those DMRs on Vigorous.
Yeah, I'm going to fly over here. That wiggle almost got Crazy Mob. Cost him an extra second there to get that knock. Winner Circle dropping like flies right there. I thought we were going to see maybe a tide shift, but Jolly stays alive and is now going for these revives. Bougie is...
Yeah, wow. we didn't get over there in time, but Jolly, it was actually a 1v1, and he's going to be able to get the full res onto Winner's Circle here. Winner's Circle's been performing pretty well in the NA region. I'll need a quick refresher on the scoreboard, maybe once we get out of this match here to see exactly where they are, but that's going to be very big for them to get up to 4 deep. This was such an interesting zone blitz. We're already down to our final 3 teams here, 2 3-mans, Crazy Mob and Vigorous versus Winner's Circle here in the Alamo compound.
Yeah, so this is really interesting because Vigorous had the successful crash here to take this spot. So I want to kind of just show you their view right now. They don't have a ton of cover. They could probably lay down behind this tree, but it's not going to be in about 30 seconds. So they need to decide where to go. There's a little bit of rock cover over here, but I don't think it's in the zone. It's not. There's some trees over here. Really, who has the best spot right now is the Crazy Mob, because there actually is a little bit of a dip here that's not visible by the Alamo, and they just have to move in a little bit more for cover. They could still play this ridge right here, Stento. There's also a little bit of a dip in the ground and this rock. So really it comes down to where is Vigorous going to play right now. They're trying to just move the cars that are heavily damaged a little bit more into zone and maybe use that as a wall, but the Crazy Mob could easily pop over there and just get a sight line on them. So we're going to hang in on the Winner's Circle for right now because they have the view of everybody, but then if we see Crazy Mob making a move, we're going to have to switch over there.
Yeah, we might need to get it. We might need to get into some Groza action here, Blitz.
Yeah, I always appreciate some Groza action.
Prodigy's already got 4 kills right now. He's got the 4x on the Groza. And we got a nice little smoke wall here. If you do want to switch over to Vig's perspective, Prodigy, again, they're trying to get some angles onto Crazy Mob right now. And it's actually Slumpto dropping a nice molly. He's going to take down both of Prodigy's teammates here. So
that was
now
devastating.
He's all alone with the Groza, and he spotted Slumpto, but Slumpto's gonna make it a triple kill right there. Little cherry on top, wins a little 1v1 versus Prodigy after a nice Molotov. So leading the way for Crazy Mob is Slumpto here, but now they're met by the 4-man of Winner's Circle who already have 8 kills.
Yeah, so I actually really like Crazy Mob's terrain over there still a lot, but Winner's Circle has 4 members, and did you just say they both have 8 kills? So this is going to be big who comes out for the lead here. Again, just to remind y'all, right now, Winner's Circle trying to find where they're in 13th place, Stento. So this is a great way for them to start off the day. Crazy Mob is in 11th place, so both of them are outside of the top 9. So both teams got to be pretty excited here to be starting off game 1 again of the NA versus EU showdown. This is NA qualifiers week 2. After week 3, we will go into the playoffs. So we still have another week plus some games. But obviously all the points help here. I really want to see their strategy. I love looking at the terrain. The more you play, especially in FPP, you kind of just pick up on these little divots that can make such a difference. I really like Problem's crazy spot right here.
Yeah, the Crazy Mob has moved into a better spot, as you can kind of see on the mini map on the right side of your bottom right side of your screen. Green has got way more terrain into this phase 8. As we know, phase 8 shifting to phase 9. The center of phase 8 is going to be our final dot. So that's pretty valuable real estate that they've got right now, the Crazy Mob. It's going to be up to the 4-man of Winner's Circle to get enough angles to kind of break this down. Blitz was talking about it a lot, ladies and gentlemen. The terrain that they got here is advantageous. It's a nice piece that they can peek up from here. It might need to be something creative, maybe a full car send, maybe some nice smokes, a smoke wall or something, Blitz, but definitely the advantage here is in the Crazy Mob's side here, even just as a 3-man, I think, just because of the terrain that they're working with.
Yeah, and 2 bolties coming in from the Crazy Mob, which could come back to hurt them a little bit, because if Winner's Circle really starts to send it, they might not be able to hit those shots. But if they do hit a knock here, you know, obviously the bolty has that stopping power, but just a lot of high risk reward shots. Vests are cracked across the board. Slumpto doesn't even have a helmet. Let's look at Winner's Circle right now. They were able to kind of regain some gear off the bodies, but they are dealing with a few cracked vests, but most of them have pretty good armor. They have a lot of smokes here. Winner's Circle takes out Slumpto. Risky push from Problems to get over there, but he gets there. Now Drop has a huge roll. This is the time Winner's Circle...
I'm curious. I want to see Drop as well because he has such a big important role. But Bougie and Shanks combined for a nice knock there. So this is going to open the door wide for Winner's Circle to push in. They've gotten the original knock up. So now, oh my gosh, some great shots from Kofry. Put problems down to one shot here. And this is just too much of a Winner's Circle. It is all Winner's Circle here. Blitz the push from Bougie is going to put the cherry on top. 11 kills and the chicken dinner. I thought Crazy Mob were going to get it done there with the position, but they overpeaked a little bit. I believe it was Shanks that picked up the first knock. And that's going to be probably something that they're talking about, maybe overpeaking as they regroup for game 2. But still a good game for the Crazy Mob, who did pick up 8 kills in the second place in rounding out our top 3 in the first match of the evening. Is Vigorous with 6 kills.
Yeah, great game. Again, the NA games have just been on point lately. I mean, the action right from the start there at Volcano Hill, getting into an early fight. I mean, they did leave, but then right from there all the way to the end, constant action. I don't think me and you really got a breath there. And for me, the big takeaway is exciting to see Winner's Circle and Crazy Mob, 2 very good teams that are not in the top 8. Again, they, some teams didn't play, but to do well in the first game. And yeah, any first thoughts, Stento, on game 1?
I was thinking the same as you. Winner's Circle and Crazy Mob have been around forever. These are teams that I fully expect to be in this top 9 qualifying teams from NA here. So, I think it was only a matter of time before we saw them both get it going a little bit. And some big points there for Winner's Circle. I think probably 11 kills in the win. So 21, 22 points, whatever it exactly ended up being. That's going to jump them up pretty significantly. We'll make sure we take a look at the leaderboard when it does update. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get match 2 set up. We're heading back to Erangel, and we'll be just a few minutes.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to another sunny day on Erangel. We are back for Game 2. This is the second week of the NA qualifiers. Here is our daily map rotation that we play each and every single day. If you haven't caught the action with us yet so far, welcome in. And if you're returning back from previous matches, thank you guys for following along still. So here's our second match on Erangel, then two matches on the Dusty Desert, followed by one more on Erangel, ending things up. We have NA, as I mentioned, playing today. It is groups A and C, trying to not mess that up. We had groups A and B play yesterday, and then tomorrow we will have B and C play. So at the end of this week, I'm trying to think how many games we're going to have played, Santa. I think it's going to be 30 games, or it's hard to remember how many games each person's playing. But
end of this week will be 20
games.
We're playing regular season's 30 games, so we're playing 3 weeks, 10 games each week for these teams. It's just confusing because of the 3 groups, so not all of these teams are going to get to 20 games at the same time. Certain groups will finish their 20 today, and then the rest of them will finish it tomorrow. So by the end of tomorrow, we'll be 2/3 of the way through the regular season, and 20 games of 30 games.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just very exciting. At the end of this week, we'll have a lot more information on that. We've already went through this, but if you're just joining in again, we have a surprise pool, $5,000 prize pool, $1,000 going between NA and EU for the regular season. And then in the finals, we're going to be giving away $4,000 total dollars, which is just absolutely amazing. And you saw the scoreboard during the intermission. It's not going to have the last game included, but just a brief kind of look at this so you guys can see where people are at. And of course, we'll be updating you guys on some changes, where teams are at, because it's kind of hard to follow all that stuff. So we'll do our best to keep you guys informed. And the plane path on this one is going to be going from kind of the Georgia Pole Hospital area all the way to prison. And again, just to bring ourselves in here on Blitz 5, we are hosting this currently on my channel, Blitz 5 and Friends. Thank you guys for all the support out there in the chat. And I'm here with my buddy, co-host, and founder of Main Gaming, Mr. Stento. And what are you thinking right now? Fun game 1.
Yeah, I love to see Winner's Circle and Crazy Mob get it going. And if I know anything about a team like Winner's Circle, they've been around forever. 1 win means more are coming, so keep a close eye on them for the rest of the evening. They're dropping onto Milton Power, as you can see. They're going to be alone on that side of the map, so this is going to be a very interesting circle for a lot of teams spread all the way across left to right. And we'll figure out exactly where that's going in a moment, and taking a quick scan of the map here, Blitz, to see if we've got any hot drops. I'm not noticing any teams too on top of one another. And bang, first circle heading up north. It's going to be an interesting one right now because George Pool Harbor is basically centered up. I think you're going to be seeing a lot of teams try to get into locations early here. AE in a really good spot, as you can kind of see from long range here. They landed crates in that compound that Italian is at to the north over there. Very popular spot there with the garage house and some cover, as you can kind of monitor everyone coming over that bridge. And eventually, as you've mentioned before, push onto that big ridge just over that northeast bridge there. Yeah, a very common spot that we see people push into. So AE is going to be in a great spot here, as well as Torch. So many teams just have one of those Miramar-like rotations, starting out with SSG and WC over in the Milton Power area. They're going to be one of those rounds they're not going to mind finding an emergency pickup. Blitz.
No, for sure. I mean, we didn't actually catch anybody using them, but we obviously saw that a few teams did last match. But yeah, I think some teams will be looking for that, and some big rotations coming in. We've seen the circle a few times now. We got it a few times yesterday, I feel like, or once or twice. We still haven't seen the Everest zone. I keep mentioning that. We saw a bunch kind of pop in this area. And just looking at Erangel, man, just looking at in the distance, this will just go down as one of the best maps of all time, I think, for any single video game. Just such a great map. So many great areas to play, and really well designed, and just perfect for casual and all the way into the competitive setting, as we all know and enjoy here, as we see some teams start to kind of move in a little bit here. GE gave me a fake out because they're under the clan tag ZG, but they have their names here, ZG in front of their names. I was like, who's ZG? But yeah, so they're all yeah in the same clan. Clan obviously being one of the newer features here. They, I feel like, always love to take this compound, Sento. But guess who's here? It's just Tick from Torch. So we'll see if GE pulls in. Don't know if that's a spawn car. It's awfully close to that wall, Sento. So that might
no shot.
give him off. No shot, right? I'm not thinking it is, but the reason why would he park the car there, right? A weird spot that stopped the car.
Just had to be a quick crash to try to get in here quick and loot. And again, really probably not considering hiding that car. He is second guessing that play now. I'm not. Yeah, he's gonna pull it in, and I think you're gonna see some people join up with him. This is such a popular spot and such a power spot to play early here. It's also a spot we've seen people jump onto with airdrops right now, but Blitz, I want to bring your attention over to Ascension Esports here. They have a solo in their compound. Game Boy snuck in for TDT.
Yeah, TDT's all over the place, Tento. I don't know what happened to them right now. I'm going to get into Game Boy's perspective. I don't know if they took an airdrop or what happened, but there's literally people all over the place. Game Boy trying to do some ducky weaving, and Nate's got a knock, and then he gets the double kill here. And going to go for a quick thirst. This is not good for A&E. I think he's going to be able to get 2 back-to-back flushes here as he goes up the stairs. Avoids getting knocked somehow. Gonna throw a Molotov, which is gonna stop that push and allow him to get a first aid. Big move from Game Boy.
He's on demon time. The nice nade opens it up, and the jump out caught the rest of AE off guard. So what was full control of the situation from AE now has gotten complicated, but DD is trying to bring it back. He did get a knock, and now ZG and see some of these members as well. Did I see that correctly?
I think so here. I'm just wondering, where is the rest of A&E? Where's Kathy at? Oh, he's laying down. Oh, he's across the way, Stento.
Oh my God,
he's not even with them.
Totally different fight. And now look at this. Abnormal has crashed this fight. A 4-man of Abnormal, maybe a 3-man have crashed this. They've already lost Tony. Sunny gets knocked from the third party of GE. They're looking from the ridge, as you can see on the top of your screen. They've gotten several knocks on this fight.
Yeah, Sunny is just hiding behind that car. He just got around into the building. The smokes are going to help out. Door is closed. Luckily, TDT and DD are kind of busy with their own situation going on, or else that would have probably been a flush. And in the middle of all this, Stento, a care package is coming down. Just mayhem on this compound as we kind of look at the aerial view.
I love that. Yeah, if you do zoom up a little bit, Blitz, you can kind of see what's interesting is that GE Solar is a solo over there on that ridge. The rest of his squad is on the other side looking at this. And right now, it's just ABN starting to work their way through the compound. Now they got DD. I think AE is now entirely eliminated. Maybe Kathy's still on the other side of the water, but it's turned into a 3v2 now. Game Boy and Money for the Dream Team versus a 3-man for Abnormal.
Yeah, it's so funny that just to quickly go, well, I don't even know if we can quickly go over there, but the last member of A&E is just hiding behind a car at the other compound across the water to give you guys a little visual of what's happening. TDT and Money now are just fighting for their lives. They're hiding in the stairwell, laying down. They don't have many options because they're getting shot from so many places. And it's so easy to get antsy here, Stento, but I think this is the play for them to just not do anything. And let's tap into what Sunny and Squad are about to do. He does have 2 lethals here. First one's getting cooked. Gonna go through the second story window. They avoid it. This one will look to go into that stairwell. Money's there, but he's actually out of the stairwell. Perfect timing for Money. Avoids that nade. Psycho goes down from Money. No more lethals for Abnormal, Stento, so that's really going to slow down their push, and they're actually going back into the garage.
Yeah, I'm curious if TDT is going to kind of flip the script here and get aggressive. They already have gotten that res off, so the timing wasn't going to be right there if they do decide to push now. But Game Boy, we've already seen some fancy footwork from this man here a few minutes ago, but it's just kind of turned into a messy fight here, very drawn out. The third parties have been looking in the whole time, but 2 kills for Game Boy and TDT here, and awesome good spray there from Red Eye from GE, still looking on from the west side. And they actually lost, I pointed it out a second ago, I think they might have lost Solar on the other side. Never mind, he got knocked and then a teammate pulled up, so they're actually going to save him. probably consider getting out of that area as well. Gemini Esports a little bit spread, just kind of looking onto this battle that we've been watching for a long time. You can see they're rotating off that ridge on the back side of your screen there. It looks like Vigorous finally found AE Kathy. He's going to go out in 16th place, excuse me. And a couple other things slowly starting to brew. I want to point to your map. Main Gaming very close to CK. They are in a compound down below the hill. So CK probably on the hill peering down here. Crazy Mob in a very comfortable spot, center zone. But right now, no one's really forced into one another. The main action is this battle we've been watching for a while. ABN and TDT still kind of sharing this compound. No one really forced into each other. No one really pushing one another. Are you circling a little airlift situation? Is that what's happening?
Winner circle coming in on the airlift. We'll see. We'll see when they pop up. It's always fun to see.
Yeah, where are they going? Lady Laser is getting into a fight on the kill feed as well. I don't know where that is. Maybe over there in shooting range.
Yeah, they were just taking shots at SSG, who I don't know if we have a ton of information on them. I know Soup's on there. It's definitely like a newly 14 team because he left the comp world, and they've been having some moments of nice battles, but I think they're not doing as well as they would maybe plan, and they're pulling up right at this plane. So I'm getting ready to hop in here, Stento, because Crazy Mob, I don't think is going to allow this to happen, and I think they're going to get aggressive here and try to take out SSG. 3 members pulled up right now. Tapping to slump those protected. No hits there on that initial spray, but Problems follows up with a nice nade, and now the onslaught is going. Crazy Mob switches. Slump those switches to the red dot. Flanking left. Soup trades, but then they're able to take him out and get a clean, well, not completely clean because they got 1 member knocked, but they're going to get him back up and pretty decisive take out of SSG there.
Cool with clean.
Yeah, it was pretty clean, right? Pretty clean.
It's pretty clean.
And look at this, another team pulling up at this compound. It just won't stop right now. Molotov is down. Nap time goes down. T-Lock just saw his teammate get flushed in here from Money, who has just survived this compound for so long, and he's got an ump right now, Stento, so T-Lock might not want to push this.
Another crash! Blitz go to the air. Vigorous has crashed it as well. I have never seen anything like this. They take out Sunny immediately. It's a 4-man of Vigorous. They're going to absolutely clean up here. Gravy has now joined the rest of his squad. I've tapped into his perspective. He takes down, actually, Kidzo picks up that final member there, but now Vigorous already 5 kills. They're looking for the final members of this squad. Vigorous is a team that's not going to mess around. They're going to want to clear this compound for themselves to help prevent all the charges and all the crashes that have been happening, so it doesn't happen to themselves, right, Blitz?
This is absolutely insane. The nades are coming in. Let's see if they get lucky. They don't have too many throwables. They just used their lethal, Stento, and it didn't work. And so far, the TDT squad has fought off 5 or 6 teams right now at this compound, which has just been absolutely insane. I think that was these are the last throwables coming in from Kidzo. After this, they're not going to have any, so they don't get a knock here. They're going to be in a little bit of a stalemate, but that underhand nade's finally going to take out Game Boy. They hit every single window, and now the stack is coming. This is going to probably be too much for Money, who's the last one left upstairs. He's actually going to hop up the top rope and get caught by Gravy there.
Yeah, Grav takes him down. Blitz, they've already got 7 kills now between the squad. This team has to be on big time first place watch. They have the ability and the firepower. They started the day in like 5th or something, but that's because they didn't play in the first matches yesterday. Vigorous fully has the ability to jump to first on the leaderboard here. 7 kills already in match 2 of the day, so we'll have to keep a big eye on them. And that package is still close by. I don't know if anyone picked it up, but Vigorous gonna have a lot of room to work out of that compound into the north side later on. Taking a quick look at our map here, Blitz, I don't see anything too close. We're seeing Winter Circle start to surround CK. If you do take a look up there on the northwest side, just to the side of Zarky there, a very popular compound, but it looks like a 3-man CK might have to deal with a push at some point from Winter Circle, but nothing yet right now. And a lot of these teams are in zone and aren't really forced into each other yet.
Yeah, Toxic Lady Laser is getting very close to Torch.
I love that crash from Vigorous. That was just so nuts, and they're just picking a really good opportunity, and they cleaned it up perfectly. I just had to give them a big shout out again.
Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, and ballsy to go in after there's been so much destruction there to just pile on, but it made sense because there were so many broken teams there, and it kind of really paid off. And that MG3 was still available for Vigor, so they're gonna maybe be able to get that if they check it. And then AFI just called in another care package. They're getting a P90 for themselves. I'm really curious if they got this care package sent, so I'm gonna recheck. Still not looted. They might just be missing it. Let's see if anybody's going for it yet. Prodigy just spotted it, so he's going to get this and be pretty pleased that it's untouched right there, which is great for them. Gonna leave the MG3 though. We'll see if anybody takes it.
Oh, I love that gun. It's so devastating, but you are limiting like the peak battles. You know, if you're gonna take that as your long range gun, you're totally gonna get dominated with the DMR peak battles. So, you know, it can be a bit memey.
Yeah.
You know, with the 990 75 clip, you know, you can do certain things, bother vehicles rotating, lay down some pretty ridiculous cover fire. But you know, the MG3 is not necessarily the best gun in comp.
Yeah, you know what it is?
so
It's so powerful. It's just not as reliable, right? It's kind of high risk, high reward.
It's not that simple to use with a red dot. And again, you're gonna probably be outshot by some of these really good shooters with DMRs long range, you know. So
yeah,
tapping into Noxie's perspective here, this is a very important rotation for Vigorous. Why don't we tap into their perspective, Blitz? I'm curious what they're trying to figure out as they push into the south side of zone here. Noxie pulled up on the ridge. They've got a lot of real estate to work with here. So Vigorous, one of our top teams, one of our Astro A40 qualified teams as well. So it'd be very interesting to kind of let our viewers hear how they deal with this rotation, I think.
Yeah, let's hop in right now. We're gonna get in there.
There's nobody close here. I mean, I don't see anybody. I'm gonna try to pull up closer. Watch over top of me.
Yeah, I am.
I'm gonna try not to run Gravy over.
I hear shots.
I'm with you, Proud.
Sounds like people are in compound.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're above or in the compound. I'm watching our left.
People right in front of us.
I'm gonna go more towards
We
Nox.
need to watch right too. Is anybody in this fucking garage building to our right?
In front of us, 355. I'm ping.
Copy.
You just jumping up and down.
On hill?
Yeah, I'm ping. I'm ping.
Okay.
I'm gonna continue to look behind us for now. Somebody left of you out behind, bro.
Tagged. I headed him. On the street right here on 355. He tried to put up a shield.
There's cars pulled up under us at the compound too.
I don't see anybody in the solo garage
I
building.
see your orange mark.
He's laying down on my orange. Yeah.
Yeah, we got zone.
We got zone.
We
here.
have this zone. We just chill.
Can we watch our back then?
Yeah, I am. I don't see anybody on blue yet. I'm holding the
I
back
feel
here.
like a team might rotate
north
this
doors.
way if they're playing north.
Yeah, definitely. Check bushes and everything. Make sure nobody's close. I feel like there's got to be a team on blue, bro. Just sitting in there.
Yeah, just keep watching it.
Crazy mob. Like, crazy mob sounds like maybe bunker.
CK
Sounds
plays the
far,
north
though,
side
but-
I
too.
like it.
Like right here or something.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
playing
they're
bunker
fighting
for
bunker,
sure.
I think.
That might be the team that was shooting at earlier.
You don't see anything over there, Nox?
Not yet, no. Thankfully.
This guy running down to sniper tower on my green here.
I do see people over here on yellow. Outside zone. It might come this way. They're rotating now.
Somebody should play with, yeah, Gravy. Try to keep kind of close to
Yeah.
Nox.
Yeah, I think that's CK on ping.
So Stento came back because they're really comfortable, and their comms are that they really want to hang back and let some of the fights happen. So I figured let's get back in once they kind of have to push up and get into a little bit of action. They saw that crazy mob. They heard the shots. They're fighting kind of by shelter. They called that out perfect, that's where they're located, and they're really just kind of watching from right there.
What's going on at this bunker, Blitz? Is someone pinned down under? Are the lady lasers stuck here? Oh, have we seen this before?
We did, and we actually saw a team.
Was it the Lady Lasers down there, or were they pinning somebody? I think it might have been. I think the Lady Lasers might have been down there before.
I don't think it was them, but I think it might have been. I don't know if it was them, but you know, we did see a team do the old blow up a U.S. trick, and that team that was below couldn't get down there because.
What's funny is they're in okay zone for a bit, so this might go on for a little while.
Yeah, but you really only have two options because. Well, you only have one option really because you can just stay back
you don't
here.
Have two options.
Right?
You're coming out eventually.
Because honestly, a lot of teams just stay down here and die, Stento. So you know they're gonna back up. You can't really get hit by a nade if you're this far back. So the only option is just to kind of rush and at least go out
The kill
fighting.
feed. Did someone just blow? Did they crash?
I don't know where that even happened on the map, Stento. I'm not even seeing where GE
They
was.
fell off the map. They're on a different map now.
Yeah, I don't even see any of the death boxes
They're
there
not
where they're
no
from.
even death boxes. What happened there?
I'm not sure where that was located. We're about to see Circle pop here in just a second. 9 teams remaining, and it just kind of went
Wow.
towards Vigor, so they got to be pretty stoked that they're not in zone. Main Gaming is, and so is Torch. Torch is just playing a little wizard tower there.
Here's the thing, Blitz, that stands out to me. If you do look at the map, Crazy Mob had that top of that hill. So if Vigorous isn't going to push down into the compound where MD is, which they're not, why would they do that? They are probably going to realize that eventually this real estate that Crazy Mob had on the hill in front of them where they were putting down the the deployable covers and all that, Kidzo was shooting at them for a little bit. That area is wide open, and that's a decent hill to play off of if you can't get a split. And it looks like, as you can see right now, Kidzo is leading the way for his squad into that real estate. I think they're going to just push as far as the it's like a telephone tower, I think. Blitz, I think they're just taking that for now. Prod with the 8x DMR. One of the more deadly DMR players we've been watching in our events for some time now. He's always getting long range knocks. He's always laying down ridiculous DMR damage. He's got the 8x on the SLR right now, just kind of immobilizing AFI, who are on that west side of zone. Scanning the north side of zone as well right now. You might have picked up a little bit of information on Torch, who are now center zone. Lots of teams pushing into the north side. Winter Circle crashed there first. They're going to be followed up by RR. So this is one of those situations where getting here early might come back to bite Winter Circle, but Kofry evens the stakes here, taking down RR. Tragic end. So
Yeah,
God,
RR is kind of in between two
on them.
teams, so I'm going to hop into them because this might be their game unless they start fighting really well here versus Crazy Mob. I mean, versus the Crazy Mob, and this could put some pressure off the Lady Lasers. Crack trying to get a 4-time spray, just lost control of it. It's not going to come down. Lady Lasers eliminated there. They tried to push up with that fighting coming in. At least one of the members from Crazy Mob got flushed here, Stento. I don't know if it's 2 or 3 remaining.
look how curious Vigorous are getting on your map as well.
Yeah, this could be almost a good time to go back into Vigorous if you want to, Stento.
Wow, I didn't see what happened right there. The Winter Circle who crashed in were about to get pushed by CK, but they held strong. Winter Circle taking out CK.
Wow. I did not see that
there's
either.
So much going on right now. Crazy Mob versus RR. It's just 2 members left. He's in smoke. They might be able to get this res off, as it's kind of same with simultaneous reses going off for both of these teams here. Crazy Mob having a very good follow-up match to their first game where they got second in 8 kills. They already have 8 kills here again, but just as I say that, things are going to get cut short right now by a combination of Kidzo and RR, taking them out in that rotation in, I believe, 7th place right now. Again, this is a great time to get back into this perspective here. It looks like they have the drop on exactly where this RR squad is, and all sorts of stunners and util are coming out from Grab here. Vigorous already has 9 kills here. This is a very big game brewing for them.
Yeah, they're in the perfect spot right now. They got a good rotation, and now Torch is actually focused with Winter Circle, so Vigorous can fight this.
Yes, Grab. Kidzo's there for the cleanup on the flank. Grab wins a little 1v1. Kidzo hits him with the flank on the northeast side against Blue. RR is out in 6th place now. And now another fight's breaking out on the northwest side. Winter Circle continuing a great showing from their first game of a chicken dinner here, Blitz. So, wow, really quickly down to our final 4 teams. It's Main Gaming still in the compound, a solo of Torch, and then 2 4-mans, Winter Circle and Vigorous. I would love to get back into Vigorous perspective and hear them deal with this end game situation.
Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna hop in. They're playing really well, but we're gonna check their comms.
I'm healing, guys. I'm healing, by the way. And we need to watch our back here. We definitely need to watch our back here.
Yeah, we're probably gonna get backfilled here.
Compound.
So be careful.
Oh, leave me alone, bro.
Call Fry's
It's on
not
orange.
interested.
I gotta.
Nice.
So somebody needs to watch the back of me here, quick, for a second. One person at
I'm
least.
going. I'm
Is
on
there
you.
anybody on
I
green?
need first aids too. I only have one.
I have
got
5.
two.
I think.
Got 4. I'm far from you.
Yeah, you're
Nobody's
I
inside.
think orange is probably gonna. They're gonna try to wrap in like that. There's like a dip
Yeah,
or something by a wizard.
yeah, we're gonna have
I
to
think
kill them.
CK
Honestly,
is wizard maybe.
CK is thirsted and dead. I think all dead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure they died. So there's
Oh,
cars
yeah, orange
at
is definitely
the
gonna my
wizard.
line.
There's a guy right here on my.
There's still
Yeah,
a
right here.
2 or 3 in
like,
compound.
right here on yellow.
Yeah.
AFI is one of AFI still in the
Copy.
field out there.
We have control zone, so we're fine. We don't have to push.
Green's getting pulled. I'm not sure if there's anybody there
They're
or not.
smoking.
Keep an eye on that.
I'm looking. I'm looking.
I shot him like 2 times, dude. That shit hurt. I hurt him. Yeah.
I heard you.
Oh
Sure,
yeah.
yeah.
I can get smoked though. I'll be fine if you smoke me. Like literally clouds of smoke.
I'm watching. What is
I
it like 2
tagged
or 3
one
up on
once, I
WC? Because
left an
Gopher's
ox.
full dead for sure.
Yeah, it's Coldfry's dead for sure. I don't know how many up are up. I know
I-
Jolly got some
I
kills.
just lasered
2
one.
or 3. Yeah, 2 or 3.
Thanks.
I just lasered one far ridge.
I'm gonna back up now. Thanks.
Yeah.
Dude, stop shooting through smoke. That's cheating.
He's playing on that being on
There's
orange,
a
blue,
box
yellow,
right
blue,
here,
sorry.
Prod. Might have first aids on my yellow mark.
Oh,
US.
nice,
I have 7s.
I don't know. I haven't looted it. We
We
don't
need
want
somebody to
WC
watch our
pushing
left.
our right, so.
Oh, I got right.
You giving up the left? I'm gonna watch the left.
gonna watch
the
I
left
gotta go.
with
I gotta go
gravy.
first aids.
I'm gonna watch the left with gravy.
Yeah, I got the right on control for sure. It's like pretty much
you have a
open.
vest,
There's
bro?
only a little bit of trees.
No.
Okay.
Just screwed up one vest.
I'm gonna play this edge rock over here, bro.
I have 2 nades and 9 smokes now.
It's good. We're chilling. We got zone.
I'm gonna
There's
play
a lot of
anchor,
5-5.
so they'll see you first, and then
All right, so probably could have stayed with them for the entire match, but I figured I'd come back and finish the game off with my sweetie pie here, Stenta, just kidding around, but just so we could kind of commentate what's going on here, because I think there's a potential here that when this zone closes in, the game could almost come to an end here because Vigorous has such a strong dominance of the top side of this map that Main Gaming has to leave right now. Winner Circle has to move their kind of cozy spot on the bottom side of the map, so they're gonna be put into line of fire, and then really the only person that might survive could be someone in this wizard tower, but they're probably gonna get pushed by Winner Circle. And really Main Gaming has the biggest opportunity to stop what Vigorous is doing right now on this flank, but they don't have much to work with.
Yeah, Vigors have great position right now. The push is coming out from Winter Circle right now, all the smokes, and they decided that they need to push this wizard tower. So there might be a lot of focus on this push right now. It's only one solo here representing Torch. That's going to be OH. Winter Circle are going to want to deal with this as soon as possible to avoid the Vigorous third party. But the interesting thing is that Vigorous probably going to be a little bit focused on this Winter Circle push and Main Gaming. So Vigorous need to be careful not to kind of dip their toes in too deep here, because they might deal with a Main Gaming and Winter Circle push at the same time. As you can see, Grav kind of senses both pushes coming, and they're going to get a little more cover down on the ground. Smokes are out. They're checking the south side. Grav seems to know where some of the Main Gaming members are. Receiving some information perhaps from his team on that right now. He's going to go prone in the smoke right now. In Winter Circle, cleared out that solo pretty quickly now, and they have some hard cover, but long range shots from Prod. Wow. Knock and Thirst Bougie with the AUG. That's impressive spray coming out of the kid there.
Yeah, so what I'm really curious here, Senta, that I have to mention is that Vigorous is kind of fighting two fights right now, and usually the way to get out of a triangle like this is to smoke one direction and go the other way, or pick one way to go and block the other side. So will this come back to haunt Vigorous, kind of fighting two fights at once if Main Gaming gets aggressive? Then again, Main Gaming is kind of playing passive here on the backside, so Vigorous can kind of hold in this, and now Winner Circle put themselves in a pretty bad spot by taking that wizard tower because it's pretty hard to leave.
Noxy has a massive flank going on. If we can switch into his perspective, I'm not sure Polaris has any idea this is coming, and Noxy is flanked all the way around the edge. I don't know if long range is happening right now. He hasn't made contact yet. There you go. Polaris was shooting long range. Noxy sneaks all the way up with a broken vest, and now, as he often does, he's gonna slink all the way back to his squad here. Main Gaming lose a member, and they didn't even see it coming here. Some good nades are coming out from Bad Apple and the rest of the squad to kind of suppress Noxy a little bit, but Grab watching over the top, really making it hard for Main Gaming to move anywhere right now. They just need to be careful. Vigorous, that is already 13 kills here, but when is Winner Circle gonna push up the hill and get a little bit curious of themselves? It is only a 2-man for Winner Circle, a 3-man for Main Gaming, so Vigorous in a decent amount of control here, starting to sweep this low side again. Is Noxy here? He's found Acid Burn.
Quick knock on Acid Burn. He's got to watch his left, though. They get double knocks. Ernster's going to go down as well. They just quickly ran through Main Gaming there, and now it's just the two members of Winner Circle stuck in the Wizard Tower. This
just
has
a
been
swift push.
This has been Vigorous' game for a while, and they're playing it perfectly, Stenta.
Yeah, Noxy leading the way. Really opened the door with the opening knock there. Shanks gonna take down Jolly and deny the kill points here. Vigorous having such a great round. He doesn't want to make it a spectacular round, although the damage was already done, if we're gonna be honest there. Blitz 16 kills going to Vigorous with the chicken dinner. We listened in a couple times. We got some good idea of some nice, calm communications from this squad. It pays off. Kids are leading the way with 7 as well. Winner Circle, our winners from the first game pick up a second with 10 kills. So as I said, once Winner Circle starts to get it rolling, they keep it going. And Main Gaming rounding out our top 3 with only 2 kills there, kind of contained to that compound most of the game there, Blitz.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think they knew what they were doing, kind of getting into that compound. Once you get into a spot like that, you're so low, you're kind of just going for position, seeing what you can do from there. I think they could have maybe left early and tried to get up that hill, but they didn't exactly know it was going to be up there. So what are you going to do in that situation? And honestly, Stento, is this one of the highest kill games we've seen so far in the tournament? I feel like in the weeklies, we would occasionally see like a 20 kill game, stuff like that. But I feel like this is one of the highest so far. And if those points didn't get denied, it would have been 18. So pretty good showing from Vigorous there.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think we've seen a 20 bomb yet, but I think we've seen 16. So maybe tied for the highest or something of that nature. But in any sort of a competitive situation, a 16 kill chicken dinner is truly insane. So Vigorous is going to be very happy with that. That's going to jump them up the leaderboard. We'll take a peek at it when it does update. But where are we heading here, Blitz, for match 3?
The dusty desert of Miramar. I mean, come on, we need like a T-shirt or some kind of sign for that. The official.
Someone get some merch going here.
Yeah, we need to have PUBG put your sign in there, a little welcome to the dusty desert. I feel like that would be great, but maybe one day. But yeah, we'll be back in a few minutes. We're going to set it up, heading to Miramar, which have been some of the best games for NA. So if you guys are enjoying the action, make sure you stick around. We'll be back in a few minutes. Be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Game 3 on the way here, loading into Miramar. If you guys are just joining us, welcome to the NA versus EU Showdown. We are in the second week of qualifiers, and right now NA is playing. How we run the schedule is these teams play every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but some different teams play groups. Certain groups play on Monday, certain groups play on Tuesday, then the remaining groups play on Wednesday. We had EU playing earlier today. We ran into some server issues, so that got cut a little bit short, but so far, no issues on the Battlegrounds tonight. Seems like all the server issues have been resolved. Once some of the leaderboards get updated, we'll go through, show you guys some of the stats that we have loaded in for today. But first and foremost, we'll talk about this drop, kind of reminisce on that last match that was really great to see from Vigorous, and check in with our co-host Stento here. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Lots to point out from that last match, but quickly want to point out the plane path that we're looking at here. Just below Tierra Branca over there, coming through towards Monte Nuevo. So a lot of the northern terrain in play here. But while we do have a minute and watch this, I do want to point out a couple things. Winner Circle Crazy Mob, 2 really strong matches back-to-back on Wrangle. Obviously, Vigorous just put down a 16-kill win right there. So that's going to put them very close to the top couple teams. Affinity getting very close to 7 Kings as well on the top of the leaderboard. So I'll give Blitz the go ahead when we do see that last match update on the leaderboard. But for now, the plane is unloading. Teams are dropping in. We're about done here, and we're seeing some teams hang on to the end to Monte Nuevo here, but we'll keep a close eye on the map here for any sort of hot drops.
Yeah, AFI pretty close to TLL and TDT. Interesting, because AFI has been playing the Monte Nuevo, kind of these structures above Monte Nuevo drop, and they're kind of all going together right now. So I'm curious why all three, and who's going to pull away. It looks like AFI might be trying to make the drop all the way to Chew there, and TDT's going to cut back right now and take some of the smaller compounds. This is actually pretty fine to do, and they're going to get gifted Circle Love, and probably would have been fine just at Monte. It's kind of interesting. Nobody went Monte. Maybe AFI thought it was going to get taken, and then it just didn't. But TDT can actually kind of fly back that way. I'm surprised they didn't turn around earlier, honestly. But this zone, Stento, we saw this once before so far in the showdown. Very interesting, because so much of it is obviously, as I'm kind of stuck, is off the unplayable area on Miramar, and it gets very hectic when the end game rolls around, and most often will be somewhere in this area on the western side of the map, and just gets super, super crazy.
Yeah, first circle has popped, man. This is just it's such a wild ridge right down the center as it kind of leads away from Monte Nuevo, and there's basically nobody in zone. I know we got a couple of teams in there, but I think we're going to see this end on that ridge just to the west, southwest of Monte Nuevo. Blitz, I think we've seen this circle a number of times. We'll have to wait until obviously that happens, but there's just, God, I feel like we talk about this every time on Miramar. These teams just have such ridiculous rotations. Like, look at RR, Torch, and GE and SSG. Like, if you don't have an emergency airdrop, the drives over there are quite literally going to take 5 minutes plus, and you're going to have to go through just about every team on the map.
That's why I'm really not that anti the emergency pickup, Stento. I mean, I really haven't seen too many people get offended that it was added into ranked, because it's not like an easy situation where you just get a free compound. You know, everybody sees that you're there. You're a pretty big target in the sky. And, you know, I think PUBG, while there's so much skill involved in the game that we all know and love, so much of this game is obviously random. But in the competitive setting, other than the circle, a lot of the randomness is taken out. There's no red zones. You know, a lot of the other features that are in the game are kind of taken out as well. So to me, to land somewhere and just have the zone be so out of your reach, you know, because these maps are so big, I feel like it's fine having that. That's obviously just my opinion. But it's also led to some really great moments so far. And we didn't see too much in game 2 there. So I'm hoping to see more in game 3. And obviously for these teams, they're going to be hoping they find some. And ABN right now, Abnormal is on a rotation. Bad Apple, I think, is just going to look on here. Actually going to put down some shots. We'll see if he hits anything. Tony went to swap cars, and he actually got some blood here. He got a motorcycle, and it's kind of
You see
glitching
that
out from
peel
far
out?
away.
Was that Evil Knievel or is that Tony, dude? I'm not sure. But he does get out of there. Bad Apple not going to be able to pick up the kill there. MG's going to want to rotate early here. This is just one of those zones. You're going to want to get it into Monte Nuevo or south of Monte Nuevo pretty early. A quick scan of the map blitz. I'm not seeing anything. And I just updated my leaderboard here in match 2 has been added. So basically, as we do take a look at this leaderboard, I want to bring to everyone's attention that some of these teams have played 17 matches, some have played 12, and some have played 15. As we do take a quick peek at the leaderboard here, we're still going to see 7 Kings hanging on to first place, but that is going to be washed out by the rest of the night. Affinity, Console Killers, and Vigorous are all close behind, and they're competing tonight. Vigorous jumped directly into 4th place with that 26-point game, and just absolutely insane place to pick up all those kills and that chicken dinner. But another thing we're going to keep a close eye on this leaderboard here is the top 9 teams winner circle. With all of the work they've put into Night Blitz, they went from like 17th to the top 9. They are now in a qualification spot with those 2 big first games of the night, so keep an eye on them. Once Crazy Mob and Winner Circle get it rolling, they really do keep the consistency up. So lots of teams already on their way to zone blitz if we do want to snap back to the map. Thought we might have a little bit of time for some damage and kill stats, but we'll get into that stuff later. We're seeing a lot of teams push through the center map. I'm still got my eyes on MG, as they often do here, but they're kind of just striping right through the center of everyone, so I thought they might get shot at. I thought we might see some action. They're pulling up on the toxic Lady Lasers here, so we are going to see a little bit of a fight here. We might want to tap into the Lady Lasers perspective because they're in a really good spot to perhaps get some shots on the MG if they make
Yeah, so I thought they were right there, but this ridge was a little bit bigger than I thought in the TLL.
Yeah,
we're
they
not
weren't
all the
actually
way
able to
up
get an
top,
angle there.
but now this is what might be bad for MG. They just pulled up on another compound, and they're trying to drive away instead of just pulling up here, and this could be pretty tough for them. So far, so good. They were able to drive through. Probably better that they didn't stop because TLL would have been third-partying that all day. Trying to see so many teams moving their way in, and really there's so many compounds to take here, and really main gaming took kind of an interesting rotation through a tough area. They're going to end up at this compound, Stento, and be pretty much in the clear.
Yeah, this is kind of just one of those times that I do just like to zoom out, Blitz, and just take a look at the map. You really can just kind of understand where everyone is and what's going on around, who can see who's shooting at who, where the care packages are. Maybe the most important fact of all. We do have one in El Pozo. I'm not sure anyone is going to get it, but there you go. One of our favorite new spectator glitches as we are looking at what squad is this? This is SSG.
Yeah, SSG here, they will quickly be removed from this area. They're doing a lift, so they will magically kind of appear somewhere on our screens back in the center of the map as we kind of go that way. So at least they found one. They had a pretty long rotation. What happened to RR, Stento? They were the team that landed at Campo Militar. Oh, they're at Tierra Blanca. Missed them on the map. Are they doing the same thing? Or are they going to be going the old-fashioned way? No spectator glitch for them. We're actually seeing them get on the pickup. So they got a long way to go. They're going to be boosting up. They literally are going from one side of the map all the way into the other. They're not going to be there for quite some time. So it's actually kind of good, though. I mean, if I was them, I would wait and maybe even parachute early and just kind of float to wherever seems safest and try to get a good spot. We have some action with main gaming, but we could tap over and look at quick damage before this circle closes. But actually, PI is now on the shoot, so we might want to see where they end up. They're lifting right now just south of Monte Nuevo.
I think they're going to take that mining structure up there. I'm not sure exactly what we want to call it, but they are going to take the high ground up here, and they're going to be in a decent spot, actually, as we kind of watch them all group up. That's the main thing with these emergency airlifts. You got to make sure you're landing together, whether that's your first drop or your second drop. You kind of do have to have a backup plan and make sure that you're going in the right direction all together, because this can spoil your round. You know, it's fun to hop in an emergency airlift and take it to zone, but you know, when there's $5,000 on the line, these teams really do have to consider, is this something that's going to get us killed right now?
Oh, for sure. And that was kind of a good use of it. I mean, they did get lucky that this whole area is open, Monte Nuevo, this middle mining structure, and the area below. And we actually saw this zone end here. Main Gaming got their first dub. It just shifted right off here at the very end. And that was a very unique circle that I think I'd only seen once or twice before. So hopefully we'll see another kind of very unique circle here as it starts to close in. RR still waiting for that pickup potentially, unless that is a visual glitch. They are super far out of the zone right now. Winter Circle might be also waiting for a pickup as well. Vigorous could also be doing the same thing, Stento. I'm seeing a bunch of people. Anytime you see people not moving on the map, it's almost like they're waiting for a pickup. Vigorous just took one. Winter Circle is doing the same thing. They're stuck in their glitch. We're just pointing these things out. So we have already, Stento, 4 or 5 teams using the pickups, and the first circle is about to pop. So there is going to be some awesome action and a big shift south. The teams that actually landed in this area left Stento. AFI left Shumas area. And yeah, big shift right now. So any teams that waited to do the lift are going to be pretty happy, because they're going to be able to readjust, and center compounds open, center circles open, excuse me.
Are we seeing Winter Circle take another lift right now?
They're flying down as we speak.
This is unbelievable. I love the airlifts. We're seeing so many of them. Is this
Vigorous and Winter Circle all parachuting? 3 teams at once, guys, are in the air.
How is this even happening?
Just because of, I guess, how far they were away. The delay right now is allowing this to happen, when normally, you know, only one team can actually use the pickup at a time. Vigorous is going to get the middle church compound. RR is going to land by Valley Del Mar, because the circle went this far low.
Yeah, Blitz, take a look at the map. It's getting so crowded in there. I can't even believe it. And look, they're parachuting literally next to each other right now. Oh, it's just unbelievable. All of these teams dropping in, all of these different teams rotating in right now is just absolutely bananas. Did we get an idea if Winter Circle got that package that they're close to?
I think it's just coming down now, Stento. So
they've had an unbelievable start to the day. Another parachute is about to take off on your map. As you can see, I believe ABN is now in one of those.
This has to be a record for the most emergency pickups that we've seen so far. They just lifted off. I can't believe it. We're actually seeing some fighting now with A&E. Apologies for the weird spectating here. It's hard to focus where all this stuff is happening. ABN, I think, is landing on AFI, Stento.
Yeah, I see some members. People are dropping all over the map. We'll try to focus on one fight here. So ABN is dealing with AFI right now. They've got a knock. They're going up here to Thirst Hobie, but it's some good shots in the back. It looks like Vigorous is shooting in the back here, so they're gonna get this kill onto Hobie. And ABN is really in a power spot up on the top of this mountain here. There's a longhouse, there's a little bit of a ridge to work with and some cover and stuff. So they're going to be peering down on the rest of the lobby from this location. You're seeing kills just break out all over the leaderboard here. Excuse me, all over the kill feed. But just a very, again, a very powerful spot for ABN. The name of the game for them is going to be just don't get knocked and thirsted from long range. Vigorous has moved into a very good spot just to the north side of them. They were laying down all sorts of third-party shots onto both AFI and ABN in that fight right now. Abnormal is one of our top 8 teams. They had a really strong start to the tournament. We haven't seen much of them today, but they've already got 3 kills on the board right now.
Yeah, did you mention where Abnormal is at? Oh, yeah, they are in the 8th spot.
There you go.
Currently, AFI kind of snuck that compound to the east, which is really nice. Vigorous, this church compound can be hard to kind of play out of, but it's going to serve them pretty well right now. I kind of like that RR got the bottom side of the map and are by themselves. They're probably getting a lot of great loot there. And the circle just had another dramatic shift to the north. I'm gonna quickly see what care
It's so
package
tough
Winter
for
Circle is
these
getting.
players.
This circle and this game has just been all over the place. Kofry got a FAMAS. Big shout out to Kofry here. This should be exciting.
We've actually seen him with the FAMAS in this tournament already. We've seen him end game with it on
That's
a Wrangle.
right.
I think he had a 4x on it. I remember it very specifically.
Yeah,
I
started
remember
off a
all
little
these
slow.
games.
I know, it's crazy, right?
EUNA
And then-
doesn't matter. I remember all these games, all these situations here. I love this angle that you've got right now. We're seeing CK kind of wrap around, but all different teams exchanging shots right now, from high ground to low ground, from compound to wide open areas. Blitz, it's just such an interesting spot for his own. And ABN starting to pick up some kills on the kill feed onto Main Gaming. I didn't see exactly what happened here, but I think Main Gaming may be in rotation. We might want to try to get over to that location. Look at its long range shots actually from ABN, just kind of farming Main Gaming on their rotation, probably on foot, I would assume.
Yeah, they had that really tough kind of drive into this area. Not seeing too many vehicles from this look from ABN. ABN's got a great spot up here. RR rotating via the car. They just crashed on A&E. I'm going to get down here. They're going to get third party from ABN here, but I'm going to fly down to an aerial view. Two members immediately dropped here. DD's also down. We're going to tap into first 93. He's trying to rotate around, but just got hit with a molly. Tragic end, trying to make a play down to literally 1 health here. Going to go for a first aid. They're kind of confined to this small building now. Not sure where that shot came in from. That was from Ernster taking out first. And it's just Italian left, Stento. Bloodbath at this small compound. AE just can't really get it started today.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there's a close range fight going on between AE and RR, and there's a ton of teams third partying from just ridiculous highs. High perches above them, whether it's the mountains, whether it's different compounds. There's just really no safe spot even in the hard cover down there.
Yeah, so I've kind of tuned back into ABN because they have a really good overview of so many things that were going on. And we also saw one of the members, I think Tony was knocked there. Karm got the revive. Italian goes down from acid burn. That's the last member, I think, of AE. 16 minutes in, Stento, 14 teams, 46 alive. This is a lot for getting close to the 17-minute mark. So something is going to have to happen here. Usually we see a lot of players kind of get removed from the game as we approach this next zone closing up. And just with that, a lot of teams are kind of on the outside. And there's also not too many compounds left. There's just this one kind of area by La Drilly, or I don't even know how to pronounce that place right. Who goes there?
Don't ask me.
You only go there in a dire situation. Nobody actually plays that area. Naptime's moving in there potentially. But yeah, you're only here if the circle's here.
Yeah, it's such a difficult area to play. That hard cover over there is really strange, but you said it, Blitz. 14 teams, 46 players, and we're approaching the 20-minute mark, so something's got to give at some point here.
Yeah, Winter Circle is actually on the outside looking in right now, literally and metaphorically, because in game and then also with the leaderboards, the kill rankings, Bougie goes down. They don't have too many smokes left. They have 5 between them, but now they kind of need to get them out, Stento. I always say this, that the smokes take about 7 seconds to give you enough smoke to really give you a ton of cover. And they last for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, I didn't see how Winter Circle got chopped down to 2 here. What was a really strong start for them today on the 2 Orangles. Now, unfortunately, even with the FAMAS in Kofry's hand, it's likely going to come to an end here empty-handed, as there's still 13 teams up. And they don't have any kills on the board here, and it's AFI. This is one of our strongest teams here waiting for them. The all sorts of... There you go. Throwables are being rained down onto Jolly and to Kofry here. Jolly's already knocked. Kofry bombs through the smoke, and he realizes that there's fire just waiting for him there. So it's just almost an impossible
Very
situation,
tough.
and it's going to be light that takes him down. AFI in full control of that situation there, and just almost an impossible push for WC.
Yeah, it's so hard there. When the smokes are out, then the nades are just coming in, and Yeah, very tough situation. Right now, I'm kind of going to rotate over because we got two teams being held out. Torch and Acid Burn are being held out by both RR and SSG. So we'll try to see who to tap into first here from this angle. And some third-party shots are also coming down to Torch. We could try to tap into Torch's perspective. Chris is trying to get this motorcycle up. I don't know if it's glitched or what, but he's having a hard time trying to pick that up. Or maybe they're just waiting until the very last second. Not sure what the plan is here, Stento.
I don't know. There's so much going on right now, and Circle is kind of centered up on such a weird area, La Drill area, as you said, and Vigorous is in a good spot, but they're in that church area, so they can't really do anything in that zone. The rest of the teams are kind of fighting in awkward areas on the edge or just long range shots. So we're seeing a lot happen on the kill feed, but there isn't too much happening close range here. I think where we're about to see the most close range area right now is where is Torch going to end up crashing here. Blitz.
Yeah, it didn't go well for a ways. Chris is trying to send it, maybe do a backflip just for some style points because they're completely screwed right now.
He ripped him out of midair and he hit the ground. No.
Glad we at least caught that full send. I mean, at this point, there's really nothing else you can do here. Circle continue to go north. So ABN, GE, and AFI are going to have a tough time. But GE's got a 2-2 split, so they might be able to get down, actually, with Solar and Red Eye watching against AFI. So we'll have to pay attention to that. I'm going to see if Vigorous has any kind of great sightline that we don't see. They can watch, actually, Dub Hub from here. And is that TDT SSG across the way?
SSG starting their rotation across the way right now. They just got into a car. Heavy shots being rung out from the Dub Hub there, and it's actually a boldy from Nap Time that takes one of those guys out of the car. Oh my goodness.
Oh, the dreaded spin out. Car's on fire. The snipe goes down, and the squad is wiped. And
there's just too many angles. Three, four different teams all looking at that spin out there. Blitz, they had no shot.
And same thing is happening right now to Abnormal. 3 of the members go down. Tony's trying to drive away in a broken Murado in a getaway car. So many flushes coming in.
Yeah, the kill feed is just igniting right now. Straight up fireworks all over the map as these teams are forced in off the edge. You're seeing most of these teams being held out by Vigorous right now.
Yeah, we're going to tap into Kidzo's perspective because he's going to get a flush here on Tragic End. You might be wondering, why do this? But because there's so many shooters and third parties going around, you need to confirm those points. Kidzo also taking a look at Dub Hub. First has to move or is either going to die to the blue, which they might decide to do. Kidzo just missed the cross there. As soon as he looked away, they were probably crossing. CK, we just missed the fight. PI was holding this area in the compound, and CK just took it over. We haven't talked about them, but they're 4 strong still, Sento, and so is TDT.
Yeah, very interesting. CK is one of our top 3 teams, so we'll have to keep an eye on them. They're in that weird area that we were just talking about. Very difficult to play. You don't see teams very often take that unless it's end game. So a couple teams to keep an eye on here. The Dub Hub, who have been coming on strong in the last day or two, trying to make a charge for those qualification spots. Vigorous is also a 4-man. CK is a 4-man. So a lot of full teams here as Prodigy, as he often does with the long range DMR, opening things up with a knock onto the Dub Hub there. But some great shots from Zach, baby, are going to push Kidzo back here into the steeple of the church. And Noxie's already out of the church, as you can see. He's got Gravy with him already. And they're starting to plot their plan out of this location. As you mentioned, it's a tough area to play out of. So you have to be proactive with this and Vigorous. Doing a great job of keeping 4 deep here. And when they are 4 deep, we know how powerful they can be end game. They've only picked up 2 kills so far here, but it looks like they're calling the team over towards this Dub Hub side to try to take this fight.
Yeah, it's just, are they going too early here? But I think it's going to work out. Luckily for them, there's not another team just overwatching. So if they can push over here, Grav's got 3 nades, so you don't want to die with these nades. Now's the time. He's got to cook this.
Nothing happening with the nades here, but he's going to try a second one. The dub hub starting to fan out here. Prod gets a knock with a nade. Gravity drops Brody with the AUG.
Yeah, and that's
so
a
this
triple
is turning
kill
into
for
a
Dub
world
Hub.
of hurt
And Albos
for
had
the
actually
Dub Hub here.
Albos had actually pushed towards CK, so he's trying to come back. Grav is laying down, though, that he's not going to know that Albos is coming from this angle. He catches Grav down, and this is going to be an immediate flush if he can get it. He does, so they lose one, but I think Vigorous is still going to be happy with this. Noxy finally spots him, and now we're down to our final 4 just like that. Phase 6 is all it took to whittle all these teams down after all those dramatic shifts. I mean, it makes sense, Stento, why we're seeing final 4 in phase 6.
Yeah, this has happened a lot today. It's just some crazy zones, some crazy shifts forcing these teams into that early action, whether it's on edge or whatnot, just kind of difficult rotations. But just as you mentioned, I think Vigorous are going to be happy picking up those kills there. Unfortunately for Gravy, that was a good flank by Albo to pick up a nice kill for the Dub Hub. Turning nothing into something there. Vigorous kind of in full control of that fight the whole time here, but we're watching TDT right now.
Yeah, so
TDT TK there. Pixel takes him down.
Game Boy was the one that made a really nice play defending for his team on Erangel, and they are the last place team right now, Stento. They also missed a couple of games for missing some members of their team with their schedule, so they're definitely behind the 8 ball right now, and that knock might have let GE kind of push up here. They have 3 players, and now they're scoping out Solar, sees Taylor there, and Ken, and TDT really hasn't been looking this way yet. They're safe from Vig. Now is, I think, their time to strike. If they get an opening, Solar's going to take it, gets the 4-time spread. They got to be happy with that. Now that's evened up the odds here.
Yeah, look at this. Red Eye is keeping an eye on the backside. Vigorous, always a threat to third party. And the rest of the squad doing a really good job to pick up some big kill points onto TDT. So GE doing it all here right now. They already have 8 kills
and Red Eye
as well.
got Kidzo and gets the flush. Kidzo tried to come by himself there initially. Prodigy's there, but not quick enough.
Yeah, these guys are doing it all. They're watching multiple teams right now, but unfortunately, the right flank on our screen has broken down. TDT, led by Money there, finally take down Solar and the other member of Gemini Esports. So now it's just Red Eye here. Prodigy getting curious for the thirst. He gets one of the thirst and peeks over and wins his one-on-one versus Red Eye. Some nifty work there, getting his kill total up to 4. Vigorous up to 7. Unfortunately, some bad timing, CK.
Yeah, this has left them open
time
for the CK strike right now. I don't think there's anywhere for Prodigy to play out of this. There's not really a great place for him to even lay down and hide in zone. CK's completely taken over this side of the zone. Prodigy's going to go down. They're going to be happy with that in third place, but obviously it's not a first. And CK here, who is battling back, they've just been, not giving up in the tournament so far. They are currently, we can find them in third place.
Yeah, it's kind of been some ups and downs for CK. They started out so hot, then we kind of wondered where they went for a little bit, and now we've seen them have some really bright moments. They've gotten some 10+ kill games today. They just haven't put together the chicken dinner. This appears to be their game. They've already got 7. If they can find the final 2 kills, we're looking at a 9-kill chicken dinner, 19 valuable points going to our third place team here, as our first place team is on the sidelines tonight. So TK, Vigorous, and all of these squads chasing the first place squad, really doing all they can to catch up. And as you just mentioned, that Money drops Pixel, and trades went out there. So now it's just one member, and we caught it just in the in time there. Blitz, it was Bazaar and Turbot with some good spray to take down the final member of TDT there, who made it interesting for a quick second. But CK, pick up all those kills that we were talking about. That's 19 points, the 9-kill chicken dinner. TDT coming in second place with 2 kills. Vigorous, another decent round with 7 kills and a third place.
Yeah, very nice for Vigorous there. Welcome in, everybody. That was just the end of game 3 on Miramar against CK. Took that dub. They were kind of on the north side, so we weren't really following them too much until the very end there. Really, we were kind of watching Vigorous, especially after their last win. But if you missed what was happening there, first of all, there were so many airdrops coming in that people were flying all over the place. At one point, there were 3 or 4 teams airdropped in the air at the same time, which is pretty hard to do. That's got to be like a record, because you have to wait a minute.
You have to. You have to pull your parachute early, the first team, and then the other 2 have to come right after you.
Totally.
So it has to happen really quickly. That's kind of crazy. There was a lot of teams in the air at the same time, but a really good game by CK to just kind of wait their turn in that weird area, La Drilly area. I don't know. Well, I have to ask for someone for the proper pronunciation because I'm not even gonna act like I
And that has to be one of the compounds that you probably say the least. I mean, sometimes you land Cabrera or, you know, some of the areas, Torre, Amuda, or whatever, but I don't think I've ever actually dropped at that spot that I'm not even going to pronounce right now. So just kind of the funny part of Miramar, but it's also what makes it just such a great map, and that circle rotation was just completely wild. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it's probably tough for the players out there, but at least some of them had those pickups to make things kind of work out, and a well-fought victory for
the
CK.
leaderboard's getting spicy, Blitz. We got Vigorous, we have CK, and a couple other teams are starting to get close to Seven Kings up on the top. We'll take a quick look at that leaderboard when we get back into match 4 of the evening. We're heading back to the desert of Miramar for match 4, but give us a few minutes to get that lobby set up. We'll take a quick intermission, and we'll see you guys in a short few minutes.
All right, welcome back to game 4 of week 2 for the NA qualifiers for the NA versus EU showdown. As we kind of introduce this next game, I see the last game is coming to an end. We are on a 10-minute delay for this broadcast to ensure that everything is just running well and, you know, no issues. Not that we've ever had any issues with any teams in the events that we've had, but I think the 10 minutes has been working pretty well and just provides a little bit of extra security out there because you never know. And again, if you're just joining on the broadcast, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, this is the NA versus EU showdown, and we have a bunch of teams, 24 teams to be exact, for NA, broken down into 3 groups, and these teams will be playing to whittle down into the top 9, and then those top 9 will play the top 8 from EU. This is the team list here. Top 17 teams from EU will battle it out, and then they will fight for $5,000 total dollars, 1,000 of which is going to be earned in the regular season, and then $4,000 are available in the finals, 2,000 going to first place. And here is our daily map rotation that we do for each event. We had EU playing earlier today, NA tonight, and NA is going to be playing tomorrow as well at 8 p.m. Eastern, so you guys can catch the action, and we will finish the end of week 2 qualifiers, and then we have one more week of qualifying to go until we get into the playoffs. Let's get into the plane path. We're just going to catch the end of it, and here's my co-host with me tonight, Stento.
Yeah, plane path is striping right through the center of the map, right to left. So very interesting. We're going to be playing out of the center of this map, obviously, as I just said, but very little of the northern and southern parts are going to be touched here. We'll know exactly where this first circle is going to shift very shortly here, but as always, we'll take a quick look at our map, make sure we don't miss any hot drops. It looks like Picado area's got a bunch of teams over there, Blitz, but gonna be a minute before we really see what is shaking out here. A circle we've seen before, circling over to El Ahazar and this area. It's always just gonna be an interesting one. These Miramar zones don't give these players any rest.
No, that's the only thing that's tough about Miramar is that I love playing the map in competitive play, but zones like this are just so difficult. I mean, the bottom side of this zone, to me, great all day, love it. It's when you get closer to the junkyard and this highway that's connects into El Azahar that just becomes an absolute disaster with kind of RNG of that highway. So we'll see where this goes and how the teams will play. Vigorous is going to be really happy here because they have their pick of the litter where they want to go after Hacienda. The hot corner here is available. This intersection is available. Will they do some kind of 2-2 split? CK is also in a great spot. AFI, really, the circle is heavy for some of the great teams to get an early position in. And we are waiting for the third game there to update so we can give you guys an update on the scoreboard and also some other statistics that we have loaded in. So stick around for that as we wait for some of the action here. A little bit of a lull. Santo, I saw some people mention in the chat actually throughout the broadcast. I wanted to ask you just an opinion in here, a little talking point while we wait for some action. You know, a lot of people mention that they don't like the PUBG strategy of not losing points when you take out your teammate, not going negative. So a lot of, people actually shoot their teammates, right? Or die to the blue in the end game. Do you have any opinion on that about whether you like that in competitive play? Do you think that's a good strategy sometimes that people can do that? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's fine how it is. If it started being negative points, I just think it's a legitimate strategy. I think there's merit behind it. Not everyone needs to be trying to 1v4 or 2v4. There are tournaments that get won and lost because teams very wisely deny kill points. I've witnessed it. I've actually been casting when teams literally in the final game of a tournament don't die to a certain team, and that 1 or 2 kill point denial wins them the tournament. So I am a full believer that that's a legitimate strategy. As anticlimactic as it is, I do think it's a good strategy. I don't think that people should be forced to fight or anything. I think there are a lot of people that do think that. I unfortunately am not one of them.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Sento. I think it's part of the game, and you don't see it all that much. You just see some of the the top teams trying to do that. And I think I was with you, Sento. We had one of our games came down to literally just about a point, and I think the team might have won by denying that kill point, and it was very, very close. I mean,
maybe we were casting that together, but I've actually been there witnessing a team deny maybe 1 or 2 kill points, and they won by one point, I believe. So it was yeah, I've seen it just legitimately pay off for squads before. And again, there's situations that you understand you don't have a chance. So denying a kill point in those situations is just a smart play, if you ask me.
Yeah, I totally agree. And we're on board with MG right now. They actually have a lot of open compounds here. They definitely are going to want to pick up the pace a little bit here, Stento. I'm going to revisit the groups because tomorrow we're going to have B versus C play, right, Stento? So Main Gaming is in Group A, so this is going to be their last series of games tonight. And I think they're still outside of the top 10. Last check of the leaderboards, they were in 13th place.
Yeah, they definitely are one of the teams that have a lot of work to do. Catching back on board with them. They're rotating right now into a decent spot. They just pushed all the way over towards Graveyard. They're scouting this intersection that's very popular, but gonna take as much real estate as they're given. Just about. They're not getting shot at all. I'm hoping that they take an intersection or something here soon, because they're just kind of pushing their luck, if you ask me. But there are some open areas here. I'm just not sure where they're going to land again, and they got to be careful. CK and AFI are on the other side of this mountain here.
Yeah, it looks like GE is getting a care package here. It's an so Musty's going to be happy about that. Also, we got an update in the leaderboards. I'm not seeing any major fighting going on, so I'm going to quickly tap into that. If you see something, Stento, I'll hop out.
No,
but
get me over there. I'm curious.
Here is the updated scoreboard right now. So, sorry, this is the kill rankings, but we will just look at this. This is Kidzo and Pixel leading the way for the kill leadings, but we want to come back to some of those other stats after the scoreboard. So, Affinity creeping up on the 7 Kings. Console Killers 1 point behind Affinity there, Stento. Vigorous in 4th. And then I'm also looking at some of the other teams that are playing today. Winner Circle still in 9th, making their way in. Torch in 7th with 99 points. The Dub Hub in 112. So very close there. Main Gaming still in 13th place. They're about, at this point, 30 points behind out of the top 9. So right now you need to be kind of in the 100-point range to be in the top 9, basically, if you're rounding up just a little bit there. Anything else you want to point out, or you think we covered it for now?
No, just other thing I wanted to point out is Winner Circle and Crazy Mob. They've been having a really good day today, bumping them both into those positions that are the final 2 qualification positions. So we'll snap back to the map, because we are seeing some teams start to rotate. I think some airlifts are being taken. PI airlifting over CK right now, but lots of teams finding their first location here. But there's also several teams rotating through the Los Leones area. Did we deal with a little bit of a crash situation?
Yeah, we had a crash, so we're gonna go. We might as well go over some of the kill stats now while we're loading it back in. I saw the airlift happening from PI on to Minas, and I was gonna tap into that, but we're fortunately got a crash there from Series X as well. But again, dealing with some PUBG stuff, typical. So
while you're loading those back up, I can do this for us if we want. Blitz kill leaders right now is going to be Kidzo for Vigorous, followed by a couple members of the Console Killers tied at 31, Pixel and Turbot, and they started the day in this location, so they might not be very happy about that. Zalodi and Hobie both with 28 kills. So a decent tournament so far for them. We're gonna switch it over to the damage, led by Hobie here, 6,600. Some massive damage coming out of this man. CK Pixel up there as well. Vig Prodigy, Kidzo, and Warhawk for 7 Kings. I'd love to go over to our head-to-head if that's still something that we have, Blitz. We were taking a close look at 2 of our top teams. If you are looking at this right now, 7 Kings in first place. Affinity's been chasing them all night. They're gaining a little bit of an advantage on the total matches here, but if you do look at the total right now, total kills between these 2 teams, 121 and 117. Damage is very similar as well. Their average placement after today is kind of shaping up to be the same now, both averaging a 5th place placement. Just a little bit of a kill advantage going to the 7 Kings here with 13 average points per game. And finally, our MVP so far of the tournament right now is switched over to Zalodi. A very interesting combination of survivor and attacker coming out of this, man. But Yeah, very good job coming out of Zalodi and Hobie. I believe he was one of our MVPs earlier, both hanging out with a Twire rating of 86.
Yeah, so AFI, kind of representing for AFI, we should say. So back to the action here. Even after the little downtime, we're still at 16 teams, 61 alive. So we didn't lose too many people. We saw PI kind of landing here, but it looks like they grabbed the other side of Mina. So it wasn't a bloodbath parachute drop for them. And we're also kind of watching Crazy Mob rotate on the right. But I'm going to keep this up so we can kind of figure out and retain where everybody is and see where the circle pops to.
Yeah, just a moment here, a second or two before we know where phase 2 is going, and it pulls closer towards El Azahar, an eastern shift. Wow, taking a look at your map there, Blitz, the whole eastern side of this zone is just kind of wide open for these teams to kind of funnel into. So we'll have to see who fills into that space. Lots of teams are already comfortable in here. I want to point your attention to SSG getting awfully close to ABN here. Maybe we'll tap into one of their perspective. Soup and the squad here have been having an up and down night. They found themselves in some end games here, but haven't been able to put a full round together. They're going to need to be careful because they're right on the edge of ABN here, who might be able to kind of pour their way out of this compound and cause some issues. Yeah, I'm just getting an aerial view here. Sonny and Tony getting very close to the cars that are traveling through here. So ABN has left this compound and they're using these big ridges here to now kind of gain a little bit of a spread and perhaps attack this SSG squad that just pulled up. I'm not sure if SSG has any idea this is coming. I'm going to get into Tony's perspective here, Blitz. He's been absolutely fragging out for this ABN squad, who is one of our top teams in the qualification spots.
Yeah, right now, Abnormal's actually dropped to 10th, but they're still right there on the cusp. I'm curious if this is the same Tony that has played in some of the other events on a different team that just a monster player.
I believe this is Reckless Tony, and I believe we have seen him in some weeklies recently, but it's Lay Sniped, who breaks out the start things here with a knock on a Psycho Karm, takes down the Sniped. Tony, we were just talking about him, wins his ones here on the left side, but there the trades are just non-stop here. It's going to be up to Karm and Sunny to win this battle for Abnormal here, but they're dealing with a really strong side for SSG here. The peaks are real. Sunny said, I've done this before. Peaks over the top and takes down the final member of SSG. They did lose one member there, but ABN doing a pretty good job to pick up those 4 kills.
Yeah, nice job peeking with the Scar, which sometimes isn't the best gun to be battling with. Quickly turning our attention to AFI versus CK here in the junkyard compound. AFI Nick is pushing in pretty far on the side. I'm going to tap into his view. Peeking into the warehouse. AFI Light pulling up above. CK's kind of hunkered in here.
Yeah, CK's hunkered in and AFI's taking the high ground. They're taking the low ground. They're starting to get all sorts of angles here. So CK is going to need to play this really close to the vest. They're going to need to win those 1v1s when it happens because the advantage is definitely in the hands of Affinity with all the angles they're taking. Omerta, a man after my own heart here. He seems a little bit distracted by the air candy falling out of the sky. I don't blame him, Blitz, but all focus does need to be here on the console killers in the warehouse. The rest of the squad is showing up. Nick and Light are kind of wrapping this warehouse there. They're going to be giving sound cues to this member there. I'm not sure you realized there was 2 there. Light wins that 1v1. Unfortunate for Bazaar there. I'm not sure he really had a chance, even if he did win that 1v1 with Bazaar there. Nick was there with the cover. Checking the edge now with the bolty, and it's on the other side. Hobie takes down Ranger Jr. So CK down to just 2 members here quickly, and all of these crazy angles we were talking about from AFI totally surrounding the junkyard compound, really starting to pay off for them. Hobie's checking all of the different angles right now to provide a little bit extra cover fire. As you can see, this man can shoot close range, he can shoot long range. This is our damage leader in the tournament. CK Turbot, however, with a nice grenade onto Omerta here. Light is trying to figure out exactly how they can get over there, because Omerta was kind of strung out a little bit away from the rest of the squad. They're flanking through as quick as they can to get to that location. I'm not sure Turbot and CK is in a position to really push to get this confirmation. So AFI might be in a good spot. Oh my goodness gracious. That AK spray through a couple sets of windows. There's absolutely foul from Light. Take down Turbot, who has been a really big fragger for the CK squad. Now they're down to just one member. Amazing plays by AFI Light there.
I can't believe that AK was able to take him out so quick through the window there. It must have been a pretty nasty heady to take him down, so much damage. And I was going to say, I thought AFI was actually going to be in a tough spot because they were so split up that if someone got knocked, I was almost certain they were going to lose them there. But I guess because CK...
For the hills, you can see him on the top of your screen.
Yeah, and look at this, TDT.
Wants nothing to do.
Has pulled up. And if you guys are joining us, this is game 4 of our week 2 weeklies or qualifiers, excuse me, for NA, for the NA versus EU showdown. This again is game 4, getting right into the action on Miramar. This is the current circle here. AFI is one of our top teams. TDT is actually one of our bottom teams, but they're playing pretty well today. And since we're just about halfway through the qualifying, they could easily flip things around and make a comeback. So they've had some end game zones, and this is going to be a big situation for them with AFI. Will they be able to survive being next to AFI, or is AFI going to, find a vulnerability, be able to push in and take them out? We'll kind of stay tuned here while we also watch some other teams rotate in around the map.
Yeah, this is a good spot to be. Nick is kind of playing a little bit of sound barrier for the rest of the squad here. He's closest to this TDT team, just kind of up against the edge of the warehouse. I'm not sure TDT really realize where AFI is or whatnot. As you can see, Money's kind of peeking. Crazy Mob up on the hill to the south side, kind of browsing, looting around. I have literally no idea how much information they have on AFI right now, but they're staying confined to that brick building right now. So I think they know someone's here at least, Blitz.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly... You're right. They're not acting like they know exactly where AFI is, so I was kind of surprised. I figured they would definitely know, but the way they were watching there did not seem that way. Speaking of watching, Watches here stuck in the blue. Kathy goes down. AE just, again, struggling to get their footing today. They had a tough rotation to the backside of Azahar. Now their whole team stuck in the blue, getting shot. They were fighting with RR. Now they're getting pinned from Team 6, which is the dub hub. Brody goes down, which actually kind of stops some of that shooting. RR makes it in. Italians in. This might just be a little bit of a cluster. We're going to tap back actually to AFI because Omerta here might be starting a little bit of a push. There's a molly down. Just wanted to make sure we're not missing too much action here.
Yeah, both of these teams are going to want to take this fight sooner than later. As you can see, shots being traded out for both teams. Light covering Nick as he ran back into the warehouse there. Takes down the first member of TDT. And as I was just saying, both of these teams are going to want to get this fight over with sooner than later. They just had a pretty drastic circle shift to the north side here, and it's actually a good molly from Nick. That's going to take down, maybe take down one of his members as well, but
Nick is just wiping everybody, team or no team.
Your own teammate, make sure you take down the enemy team as well. And they look like they're going to be able to do that. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Ken actually holds strong.
He went two-hand there. Now they're also going to lose Light. I didn't see this happen, that they lost that many members.
Oh my gosh. What was a little bit of a betrayal situation. I thought it was, abiding by the Stento rule of thumb. You can take me down as long as you take down the threat.
It seemed like it was going that way.
It did look like it was going that way, but unfortunate. Good plays there from Ken to kind of dig it out there for TDT, but I think Hobie snuck in there and cleaned it up for for Affinity, but not before they lost half their squad.
Yeah, AFI has to be really frustrated there. GE just kind of took over the top spot. Pixel is actually still alive from CK Stento in that shed. No one's in here, so AFI now is trying to regroup. They're probably a little frustrated there, but hopefully regrouping now. Crazy Mob's actually behind them as well, so 1, 2, 3, 4 teams right here. Musty getting some initial shots here. Hobie right below him. Gets down to 6 health. He tries to peek. He actually does get Hobie.
Well done from Musty there.
He's going to go down to the blue.
Going to be his worst enemy here, though, but Omerta actually takes him down here. But it's going to be mutual destruction in the end. Blue Zone ends up taking down Omerta. Both of those teams are going to lose some players, and now GE still struggling with their own rotation here. He did have a P90 in his hand too. That's Crazy Mob starting to get things rolling here. They've been quiet all around, but Slumpto starting things out with 1 kill there. You're seeing a lot of action break out on the kill feed here, so it's tough to really keep an eye on all of these different fights, Blitz, but we are on board right now with Crazy Mob, just kind of getting some long range shots here onto several teams. Droppa with a kill, Slumpto with a kill. That's going to be Gemini Esports out in 10th place, TK out in 11th place, kind of at the same time. Maybe reverse those. Gemini out in 11th, CK out in 10th, and there's just non-stop action on the kill feed here. We're seeing more knocks onto PI. We're starting to work their way off the edge here. They're going to go out in 8th place. That just went from 11 to 7 teams in a matter of 10 seconds.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many teams that we haven't even watched in this game so far. Stento,
Yeah.
Torch, and Vigorous. Vigorous, one of our top teams, still has 4 up. I guess why we haven't watched them is they have no kills. Well, 1 kill, but it looks like they're going to have to fight their way out of this spot. Most of the team not in zone. Just Grav there is in. Torch, 1 member up there.
It looks like a wise play here. Kidzo's pushed up. I think he got maybe 1 knock and a confirmation, but he doesn't really know how many Torch members are waiting for him on that edge there. So he decided, even though it was just 1 member, that, you know, I'm going to play this safer rather than sorry here and back off.
Wow, look at this
he's also
split by
got,
Nox. Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to look at this split. Crazy split. This could be a good time if you want to, Stento, unless you want to stay on Castus. We could check in where Vigorous is going to play this west side. Or we could stay in and see what's going to happen with the Dub Hub here, who's trying to fight in as well.
I think Vigorous look comfortable. Waiting for a good time here, perhaps, to jump in. They are very comfortable right now. Noxie's totally split from the squad, but he's not really near anyone. There are several teams that are beginning to move in right now. Torch still working their way off the edge, trying to fight their way through both Main Gaming and Crazy Mob on this side. But again, Vigorous is very comfortable with where they're at right now. I'd love to kind of catch them once they're getting into a little bit of a scrap or something.
Absolutely. I'm really curious to see what's going to go happen with Dub Hub here. They are in 6th place. We haven't really watched them too much. They're not in zone. They're trying to rotate right now. They currently have 4 kills. We're going to watch this attempt in the Murado. Cheech goes out from Prodigy. Great DMRs, and then the immediate flush from Kidzo. Car's flying over here.
Oh my gosh. This is like an action
Brody
movie.
goes
Kidzo
down
picks up
as well.
another knock. They're on the dirt road now. Does anyone have an angle to get a little bit of a ridge to work with here? I'm not sure if there's anywhere reliable to pull up. The tires are getting popped. Kidzo picks up a 3rd, maybe a 4th knock there for the young gun. And they're trying to find the last member. Can they get it? Zach Baby's going to go out. Prodigy from long range, taking him down in 6th place. Dub Hub been getting it rolling the last day or 2, but they're going to have to regroup for match 5, Blitz.
Yeah, I mean, we single-handedly cinematically watched their whole team get ripped out of the car.
Yeah, that was
one by
amazing
one
camera
there.
work.
Perfect timing, but super unfortunate for Dub Hub. They're not going to want to watch that back. And just like that, Stento, another early top 4 here for NA. These teams have been playing really aggressive. The circles have been really, really tough out in the open. Not forgiving at all. So we're just seeing some really early top 4s. Kidzo getting spotted by Droppa here. He was trying to get some loot off of the fallen Dub Hub squad. Slumpto goes down from AB and Tony. Where's ABN at? They're kind of hiding in this back corner here. Let's see what their visibility is like.
Yeah, they've got a comfortable spot right now. The main threat is going to be Vigorous, who just circled up very comfortably once again. So they're really just playing a little bit of a spoiler right now for Crazy Mob, who is trying to kind of work their way off the edge. Main Gaming sneaking their way up the hill to try to get involved. It looks like Ernst are dealing with a little bit of fall damage there as he took some long range shots as well. But ABN already have 6 kills. We're seeing the bolty from Sunny right now, not landing any of those quick scopes. Close, but no cigar.
Yeah, I'm really curious what Main Gaming is going to do here, Stento. They've been playing a little passive today. They're going to get Ernster up. They have 3. It's a 4v4 v3v3. It's ABN and MG with the 3 squad. They have to completely leave this compound, and Crazy Mob and Vigorous are outside. they're going to have to pick one way to go, and it's not going to look good here, Stento. I mean, they could try to push, make a smoke wall into Crazy Mob. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, and I think we're kind of just waiting for Vigorous to strike. We're going to see Crazy Mob probably scrap with Main Gaming here, and Vigorous is just sitting on the west side waiting for the right time to strike. There is the 3-man of ABN who we're just watching on the east side of map. Comfortable, but there you go. Ernster with a nice knock on the Slump to open things up here. Crazy Mob now in a little bit of a difficult situation, having lost one member here. Some more good shots from Ernster. Gonna drop Droppa there. So now Main Gaming with a little bit of a better perspective. They're fighting multiple fights here, actually. They're gonna take down Gravy on the other side. Bad Apple. And now Prod from the other side is gonna take down Problem. So this fight is just all sorts of different angles, from Main Gaming onto Vigorous onto Crazy Mob. Everyone can see each other, and the knocks are proving that. Now ABN joins the kill feed as well. They're gonna start to steal some of those kills. Tony taking out Droppa, who was already knocked. So just an unbelievable situation here, Blitz. I love the different angles that we're getting right now. It's still Main Gaming here. Polaris trying to figure out exactly which way they're favoring, where they just got some of the knocks onto Crazy Mob here. The thing is, there's still several Crazy Mob members involved here. It's Bliv and Problems here, and Kidzo is actually sneaking up the side, protecting Gravy. Bad Apple was pushing his knock here, and Kidzo is going to do a good job to take care of that threat here and get Gravy back up. So wow, a lot happening here, Blitz.
Yeah, we saw the foldable shield, another new addition that we haven't been seeing too much of, used by Bad Apple. Could have actually helped them, but I think a nade or something ended up taking him out. Crazy Mob gets eliminated there. They were the first to get kind of triangled from all the teams or third party from multiple spots there. ABN actually with a nice split right here. Check this out in this aerial view. They've completely taken over this whole ridge line now.
Zooming out. Look at the snake in the grass.
And then there's
on the car,
waiting for the right time to strike.
Oh my gosh, get into his position. Get into his position.
He's now looking in on Karm. Stop moving. Here we go. The spam's going to come in. ABN not expecting this. This is going to save Vigorous Stento. If he's not here, ABN could have really made a strong wall. Prod's going to get that flush, and now the angles have completely changed, and the circle just went towards Vigorous. I told you, Stento, these zones, they somehow just make it back up to this highway, and they're so difficult on this part of the map here. And Vigorous looks like they might be taking home their second dub of the day.
Yeah, I love this push from Vigorous. They're taking the low side ridge here, totally eliminating this. They're going to push together. Gravy and Prodigy pushing up on Sunny. He's going to be grabbed, taking him down there. They know where Tony is right now. Tony's kind of fighting his own fight there. It's actually Kidzo who picks up the final member of Main Gaming, who's going to go out in second place here, and it's a 4-man Vigorous, just trying to figure out where Tony is exactly. You're going to need to be careful. Tony's already got 6 kills. He drops Prod here. And there you go. It's just a really good team push. Noxy leading the way, getting the final kill there onto Tony. 10 kills and the chicken dinner for Vigorous, Blitz.
Yeah, I mean, that was really interesting to watch because it just seemed like it was going to be pretty obvious. And then it turned out it wasn't, the way things kind of unfolded. ABN coming in second place there with 10 total kills. A really great performance for them coming in second place. Main Gaming, again, making it into the top 4 there, but only with a few kills. Again, we saw them do this on Erangel, third place with 2 kills, and then rounding out the top 5 would be Crazy Mob and AE. AE, while they didn't get a lot of kills there, have to be happy that they made it in top 5 because they're kind of having a tough night. And we'll say hello to everybody. That was just the end of Game 5. Vigorous winning 2 games again. So it's the scoreboard's not going to have the current game there, but let's take a look at where Vigorous is right now. They're in 4th place. That's probably going to jump them up. I don't know how CK performed that game. They only had 1 kill. That's right. They kind of got taken out by AFI there. So this could be their time to leapfrog the console killers. But either way, Stento, they're in a good spot right now. They don't really have to worry about falling out of the top 8. And anything particular you want to mention before we go into intermission? Oh, it might be muted right now.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Thank you. I said Vigorous, man. This might be what leapfrogs them into 1st place. They're having a little bit better day than AFI. They just picked up their 2nd chicken dinner. We'll have to wait until the scoreboard updates, but again, they've been the talk of the day now, winning 2 of 4 matches so far. We're heading back to a wrangle for the final match, though, ladies and gentlemen. Final match of the day. We're going to be back here tomorrow. I want to remind everyone we'll be back here tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern for some more NA matches.
Absolutely.
But give us a quick moment, guys, and we'll get the final match of the day set up on a wrangle.
Yep. GG's, everybody. BRB. Welcome back, everybody, as we get ready for our fifth and final game of the evening. Back onto Erangel. Here's our daily map rotation. Again, as we head into our last match. Again, here are also the teams that are playing today. We have Group A versus Group C. Tomorrow we will be back at 8 p.m. Eastern for Group B and Group C to play to finish out week 2 of qualifiers, and then we will have one more week left until we head into the playoffs. A lot of great action today. Let's take a look at the playing path for our final game, going down from Primorsk all the way until Stalber and Kamishki. Again, I'm Blitz5. We are currently hosting the NA versus EU Showdown on my channel, Blitz5 and Friends. Thank you guys for all the support out there in the chat. And I am here with my buddy, friend, and founder of Main Gaming, Mr. Stento.
Yeah, excited to be here as always, Blitz. Back on a wrangle for our final match of the evening. Again, we'll be back here tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern, to watch Group B and Group C wrap up our week 2 action. And as Blitz just mentioned, we'll have one more week for the final end of our regular season, and then we'll be headed into the EU versus NA Showdown section, where we'll have our final 17 teams battling it out for the large prize pool here. But the plane is loaded. It is heading from Primorsk up to Stalber area, so we got some good potential for some interesting circles here, Blitz. We're just gonna have to wait a little bit, pay close attention to this playing path, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll make sure we don't miss any sort of hot drops. It's our final match of the evening, Blitz. We know sometimes, you know, maybe people are getting a little bit tired. Maybe it's been a long day. Maybe nothing has been really going your way, and you just want to get into a little bit of action. We often see those hot drops happen on match 5 of the night, so we'll keep our eyes peeled and our ears wide open here. But I'm not seeing anything too close breaking out on my screen, Blitz. I've got my map wide open. I'm gonna be shouting out if there are any hot drops, but for now, I'm just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, runoff here. Grab the dossier right in front of Albos. Got the mini. Gonna be a tough shot here, and Albos gets tagged from a heady from an M16.
Wow.
Was not expecting that, and I don't think Albos was either. Could have just went for that motorcycle and left, but I think I might have done the same thing. Just lost track of some of the other parachuters. The only thing, though, is nobody's really nearby to get this. It's also risky for anybody from SSG to go over there. Really, it's risky for everybody at this point. Usually, there's another potential vehicle that spawns over here. Zach Baby's got one of the UAZs and is going to push. Take a quick look at the map while we wait for him to get over there. Circle popped all the way to quarry. We haven't seen a quarry finish in the showdown yet. This is usually, I feel like, one of the most common finishes in competitive
you were asking
play.
for it. You were asking for it. Zach Baby is potentially going to be able to save Albos here. The Dub Hub, who started out really slow in week 1, have been starting to get it rolling here. They've jumped their way into the top 6.
Runoff is
we'll
here.
wait.
Zach
Oh
Baby,
my
I don't
gosh,
think has much. He's
they're
just got a
pushing.
molly. This is not good for Dub Hub. Zach Baby, I think, only has throwables right here. He's going to cook this nade, but it's going to happen too late. Oh, not too late. It takes
Not
out
too late
Runoff
at
with
all.
the underhand through the glass there.
Unbelievable. Here's the thing: is 30mm got the knock onto Albos, and there you go. You can see he doesn't have an angle. He's over at that J compound, staring this way. So some unbelievable play.
Oh, now
Oh my
Soup's
God,
here with the
This is the goofiest situation. Zach Baby said, dude, I am out of here, man. I don't have a gun. I am gone. And right now,
Soup's got a nade this
pulled up
time.
with some decent loot. He's got a nade. He's got an ump in his hand. Albos is just screwed here. So these are some insane Game 5 plays happening right now. Soup, Albos, Runoff. They're all trying to fight for their lives here. And the Dub Hub have some interesting angles up on the apartments and school. But right now, Soup is doing enough. He's going to be able to get his teammate up right now. And unfortunately, Zach Baby's going to need to get a gun and return to this shack. This is some cartoony stuff breaking out here. And unfortunately, Albos does bleed out here. But you got to love the attempt here. And there you go. Brody actually gets knocked on Lay Sniped. So this is the same two teams fighting. I'm not exactly sure where Brody or Lay Sniped is.
Lay Sniped moves up to the other shed. So now we're going to see another cartoon revive here. But yeah, but Lay Sniped getting taken out from Brody at the school area. And now he's kind of got a sight line on this. They're not going to want to let Lay Sniped get away because now they lost Albos. They want probably something for this.
Oh my gosh, they
The
pulled
VSS,
up.
he actually has an angle. Not getting the blood, though. Finally gets the blood.
This is what we were talking about, right? Final game of the evening. These teams are just full send mode right now. It's been a scramble since the beginning. No armor. We're just getting cars. We're going to try to save Albos. And SSG just did not have a care in the world to try to pull up on this. And the long range having a factor as well. Zach Baby is now in the whip, trying to get a little bit of an angle. He's got 22 bullets in the ump. His teammate, however, Brody, putting in some good work, taking down List Snipe.
Zach Baby just caught.
Wow.
That Soup was there to the left. He just flicked over and then gets a nice little tic tac on the runoff and takes him out of the car.
How do you laser someone with 6 bullets out of the car? Right there. Zach Baby just scripted it out for everyone at home. Make sure you've got your notebooks out. Make sure you've got a number 2 pencil. As a matter of fact, you can use a pen on this one. You're not going to need to erase anything because Zach Baby is putting on a very clear clinic here.
Yeah, and with the ump of all things, I mean, I know it wasn't that far away, but that gun, you know, while it's overpowered on shooting at people, but like trying to lead a car is not easy with an ump, so that was a great situation. And I'm kind of flipping us pretty quickly here, but we're seeing one of our top teams fight Abnormal. Vigorous has won 2 games today. Grab is down, and Kitzo is pretty weak as well.
Abnormal's going to want the revenge here. Noxy again has a really big flank. That's the main thing I want to point out. But Prodigy doing enough here to get a knock. And Noxy actually loses the ones on the other side there. Sunny takes him down. It's all up to Prod now. And there's just one knock on the ground. So Prod trying to keep his team in the final match of the day. They've had a very strong day, but some good shots there. Unfortunately for him, the Toxic Lady lasers have arrived on the north side. I believe that was Cerny that put him down to 36 HP here. So Prodigy's gonna have to run off of this, see if he can perhaps grab some placement points for his team here. Abnormal is a very good team versus team fighting squad, and taking Vigorous out there pretty quickly with some nice wins.
Yeah, so Vigorous is in 4th place right now, and Sento was bringing up at the end of last match that if they had another big game here, they could leapfrog into any position, 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. But after this, Prodigy's now is going to have to lay low. 0 points for him. It's going to be tough to get any points, but again, they have to be overall pretty happy with how they played today. So not the end of the world. But for Abnormal, that's pretty big. They've jumped up 2 spots from 10th to 8th. So if the tournament were to end today, they'd be in. And now they already have a few points here, and they're looking for Prod. They're going to pull up at this compound. Prod is hiding out right at the wall.
Oh my gosh, I love this angle that you've taken, Prod. Doing a little bit of TPP and FPP. Hanging out on the edge of the wall. Just kind of peeking this door. He's not really moving speed at all. Is the timing going to be right here for him? He does drop.
Almost got a double kill there.
Weak too, but Tony holds strong for ABN. A little bit of a payback there for ABN. We just watched Vigorous kind of take them out in a 1v1 to end our final Miramar match. That was match 4. Evening the stakes a little bit is ABN there. They're staying 4 strong, and they pick up all 4 of those kills now.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunate there. I think Prodigy, for some reason, instead of trying to hide, went for the fight, and could have potentially worked there, but it did not. And they will be back next time they play. Here we go. Circle slowly closing in. CK making their way in as well. CK, our current 3rd team. We did get a leaderboard update. I was going to flip over, but Winner Circle is actually flying in via the lift right now. So if we do get a hot drop, I want to be available for that. They're pretty hype in the air still.
Oh yeah.
I think they're going to take this western compound towards Quarry, which is a really good play. I mean, it's going to be slow for them
Yeah.
if they take this, unless they play the hill. But I think for them, again, Winter Circle,
Gonna be a good spot for now.
absolutely.
If it does circle over there, that is a very good spot to try to play out of late. But we have a little bit of time until this circles up. So I do think you might have a chance to pop up that scoreboard, and you read my mind there. And it's just been a little bit of a matter of time, but Affinity have finally taken over Seven Kings. They have a little bit of an advantage because they have played more games, but 197 points is going to get you to the top of the leaderboard. Can they jump into that 200 range and kind of keep themselves on pace with some of the teams on the EU side? We'll have to wait and see. But Seven Kings 195, Console Killers 188 in third, Vigorous 178, a very strong night for them in fourth. And rounding out the top five, Dub Hub continuing a very strong middle of the season here. We're going to keep a close eye on top 9 and all of the teams on the outside looking in here, including Winter Circle, Phase 9, Bloodhound, Main Gaming, Ascension Esports, and several others that are still in the mix here. We've got several more games. We've got a lot of PUBG left, ladies and gentlemen. And if we do snap back to our map, Phase 1 shifting onto Quarry. Blitz has been asking for it, and you get it, Blitz. Asking, you receive.
Here we go. Just want to mix it up. I mean, I do like watching spectating these Quarry finishes because there's so much action on this like outer ring of Quarry, which
Look,
gets
Main Gaming's in a scrap. We got to get over
exciting.
there.
And we're gonna pop in here. Main Gaming making a push onto TDT, maybe picking up the aggression a little bit here in Game 5. Slower day for them as well. Bad Apple with the flush there onto Taylor. Team is swarming right now. It's just Game Boy up left.
Are we seeing a lot more Scar being used in these tournaments here? I've seen a lot of it today. I know Acid Burn loves that gun. We've seen her just get a knock onto Taylor there. Main Gaming seem to be in full control of this fight here. We tapped into it a little late, but they've already taken down 3 members of the Dream Team. They just need to find Game Boy, who seems to be a little bit of a playmaker.
Oh no,
for this squad.
Ernster takes
He
out
takes
Acid
down-
Burn.
Wow, he takes down 2 members there with a little help from Ernster. But the shot through the window there is actually... there you go. That abides by my rule. You take down the final member of TDT, you're allowed to knock Acid Burn. Main Gaming's gonna get back up to 4 strong there. As we look around the map, we're seeing ABN shoot at passing by CK. I don't think they're gonna pull up. Be a little bit crazy of an early game pull up, especially for one of our top teams. Chasing 1 and 2 is CK in 3rd place here. So starting to get kind of crowded by Winter Circle, GE, and the crazy mob here. We might want to stay on board Blitz with CK. I'm curious where they're going to end up here.
Okay, I'll take a look. Let's see where CK is. AE is awfully close to AFI right now. AFI is getting
like
a care package. And Light is here. We saw him with a disgusting AK shot onto CK. Really thought MG was going to pull an AFI there that we saw in the junkyard and kind of cause a lot of chaos. They got back to 4 strong. Omerta starting this off on watches. Not a ton of damage there. That care package taking its time to get down, yet they don't have it. Hope he's kind of staying back for it. Italian takes out Nick here, who kind of overstepped to the west. AFI is really spread out here, Stento. AE is more grouped up. So now Light's going to have to face potentially a few members here at once. He just spotted Kathy, I think, to the left. There's 2 members over there. AK spray with a red dot. While easy to control at that distance, just not really easy to get that sight line. Gets a nice crouch shot there. Light's very steady with the AK. Especially at that distance, not an easy shot to hit. Light is basically holding down. We're going to get into an aerial view here because there's so many smokes popping. Kathy is flushed out. DD goes down from Hobie. Watching over the situation with his AUG. I think AE should have got a little aggressive there maybe earlier on. But now they've kind of lost control here, or contain on the west side because of DD going down in town. He's going to try to fill there. He's got an AUG and a Mini. Usually he's been rocking the M249. So a little less firepower as a solo, but going to be more accurate with this 4x AUG.
Italian trying to get smokes on the ground here so he can consider this res on DD a little more seriously. He's going to need to be careful. AFI kind of took those smokes as a sign that they need to push through, and they're doing just that. They're going to get that confirmation onto DD with a little bit of help from some of the frags that they were throwing in that situation. It looks like Italian just took out Omerta with a nice molly. He kind of threw it and ran away. I almost forgot that he threw it there. Now he needs to win a one-on-one versus Light there, but those AK shots quick from Light to put Italian down to 39 HP. Now watches kind of leapfrogging his Ascension Esports teammate here, wrapping the low side, trying to catch Affinity off guard here. Blitz, I love this flank.
Yeah, this is a really good flank. He needs to pop up here now to help Italian. A little too late. Italian just got knocked, and now it's a 1v3. Catches Hobie, though. Nice lean. Down to 50% health. Going to go for the flush instead of looking to the right. Is that flush going to come down on Hobie? Third party's coming in, but they're going to try to block some body shots here. They're actually double stacking the body shots, potentially. Pretty smart play.
I love it. Effectively taking shots is AFI Light. You can just watch on your screen. He just took 2 shots, Blitz.
Yeah, I mean, I like the double stack. Sometimes if you want to get really crazy, you could double heal in case one of the persons getting the heal gets knocked there. So you already have the second heal kind of going, but that was perfectly played by Light there. And
we kind of talked about it earlier, maybe on the EU side of things, that some of these teams just do all of the little extra things. And I don't think in that situation you're going to see every single team go for body blocks on that revive. And I think it just saved a life.
For sure. And that's something I know, Stento, you and I, even just doing in regular matches, playing together. I mean, me and you are big about that. It's such a crucial part of your game. Baby. For me, I feel like you always got to get in there.
Stands out to me so much, man, because I'm going to body block every time before my teammates get thirsted. And, again, it's so much more important in a tournament to keep your team as strong as you can. And those were big plays. I think that was a Light who we've seen just kind of shredding people with the AK, showing that he's got a little bit of brains to go with that brawn.
Yeah, that was great. AFI just really playing outstanding for the most part. I mean, they had that little slip up in the junkyard, but for the most part, they've been playing really well, and that's why they are our current first place team here. Watching Rico Roughnecks. Couldn't really get it together yet today. They're in 20th place. They have the Toxic Lady lasers below them.
Blitz, I'm watching. Ernster for MG is really close to a couple members for Torch. He actually just backed off. I don't know if he caught wind of the enemy on that side, but yeah, they were getting really close, so I pulled you over there. But it looks like we're actually missing out on another fight here. The Dub Hub versus AFI. We're tuning into it a little bit late, so we'll try to get our bearings here. It's a 3-man for the Dub Hub versus a 3-man, I think, for AFI. And the mollies are now going into that smoke, gonna get the confirmation onto Light. Now it's just a 2-man for AFI, trying to deal with Zach Baby Cheech and Brody for the Dub Hub, who already have 4 kills in this round.
Yeah, so I thought they were going to try to wrap on AFI, but I think now they're trying to get into the zone and kind of make a line down this way. I guess AFI just spent too much time in this area. You really don't want to be here too long. I don't think they would have expected another team to be here. Comes down from a Hobie. Retaliation for that flush, but this is just not a spot you want to be in for that long. It's kind of like this long rolling hill. People can come out of nowhere. Plus, they could have easily been gate kept here from people at the compound. Luckily, no one's at S-Bend, but normally there is, so they're kind of both lucking out that they can run in kind of safely here. They're just going to be battling each other. Omerta with a long throwable just goes past the smoke there, does a little bit of damage. For some reason, we just flipped way too far away there. Apologies on that. For some reason, the spectate kind of bugging out there, so apologies. We missed this knock on Omerta. We'll pull into Hobie with the who's now looking the other direction. I guess he's just kind of realized that there's not much he can do for Omerta, and he's going to drive away. And that is that for AFI.
Yeah, that's our first place team. Oh, they're not actually fully eliminated. Hobie still striping his way down from the north side. He might be able to find some center zone as well. So keep an eye on it. There's still a solo for our first place team, but a big fight breaking out between Crazy Mob and Winter Circle. We talked about them a lot, both starting out really strong today on the 2 Erangel matches here, but it looks like a little bit of mutual destruction going on with a side of third party here, Blitz.
Yeah, Crazy Mob losing a lot of their team. They're in 7th place, so they would really like to kind of end on a strong note here. But it's just problems left, stuck in the smoke. Throwables coming. This blue is also here. This is not a good situation for the Crazy Mob. We saw Winter Circle parachute in early, and it looks like they're going to be able to kind of clean up the Crazy Mob with just the help of the blue as they run in and make it back to their compound on top of the hill. But then ABN's also here, and they're looking for some revenge. They wanted the dub last game, and now they're coming in strong. I think they want to take it this match, Stento. They were in 2nd place, just behind Vigorous.
Keep an eye on ABN. They've had a really strong game. We're watching Sunny now on board with him. He's got a P90 in his hand, and now they've got a little bit of a gatekeep situation on not only Winter Circle, but as you can see on your mini map, on the bottom right, they've got a Gemini Esports member as well that they might be able to catch over there. All sorts of broken teams really close by to them. You can see one of the toxic lady lasers is just shortly in zone in a nice dip. There's a 2-man 4 PI just to the north side, a 2-man main gaming to the north side. So lots of solos and broken teams. And just as I say that, solo for Gemini Esports is going to go down to that Bolty from PI. And it's a matter of time between the lady lasers right now. Only Southern here. She seems to win her ones all the time when she's in that situation. Drops Sunny, but it's just too many team members for Abnormal here. Wow, they're going to be hard pressed to get Sunny up here. Waxed for the Rico's Roughnecks, picks up that kill. And now it is a 3-man or a 2-man now for that squad in their ABN, but now RR starting to lose some of their own members from some long range shots from CK. So 3 kills for this squad, but they need to be careful here. RR is one of our teams on the right side of the leaderboard that really need to pick up some kills here and start to find a little bit of consistency to their gameplay.
Yeah, I wanted to hop into their perspective because Winter Circle's also coming in right now from the side. And I thought they'd have a good edge here. They were just 4 strong a second ago. Now they've lost a member. Wax is down, so now they're really not going to have this angle on Winter Circle. This could allow Winter Circle in. Zone is closing. It's going slowly. They got a minute to decide. They might roll up. Crazy Problems made it into the zone somehow, Stento.
I don't think we have a
in the
single
blue.
full team on the entire map right now, Blitz.
A lot of broken teams. I think CK is actually the only one. They're just really split. Otherwise, I'm seeing a lot of solos and duos everywhere. 9 teams, 20 alive. So that does show you that the average team size right now is 2.
Math is good. It checks out.
Problems going down there. Not much for him to do. I'm going to snap into PI because they're about to run into Winter Circle. Nap time gets caught out before he can really respond. T-Lock trying to shoot from the blue, but the blue's going to finish him off there. Jolly gets that last kill.
Down to our final 7 teams here, Blitz. And as you just mentioned, they're all broken down teams. Only 17 players alive. 22 minutes have passed, and a lot of teams hanging out in that quarry area there in CK, kind of with the probably the highest odds to win this game here, as they're still a 4-man, as you mentioned, and they've got kind of full control of that south side quarry zone. There's just so many broken teams that can play such a factor in this game that it's really tough to tell how it's going to shake out.
Yeah, I thought RR was really going to be able to make some noise here, but they just keep getting knocked, and I think they have to leave first 93 here, unfortunately, and they're going to have to cross this pathway here from 3 stack, and you know CK is going to be watching. We haven't watched them too much today, though, so let's pop into their view. Also, I kind of want to point out that, check out the situation. Dump Up was right together. MG's on the top. Hobie is just hiding in his compound, so I want to pay attention to that. Ranger has Brody really close underneath him. If he gets this kill, this is going to be the end of the dub up here. Eliminated in 7th place. Care package coming down. Finally picking up the last member. Just so many broken teams, so you just hear some shots popping off, then another team eliminated. We just went down from 9 to 5 teams really quickly there in about 2 minutes or so. Bizarre catches waxed, trying to cross. No smoke wall for them, so I'm guessing they just don't have the utility anymore. Tragic End has 1 smoke. Nice snipe. Thought it was almost a heady there. Hits the top shoulder. But again, we talked about it, Sento. Some of the top teams, you know, they would have the extra smokes here to get across. Then again, they might have already used them at this point. We'll point out that RR really was stepping it up in some of the weekly events and looked like they were becoming, playing very, very well. And obviously, this is only halfway for them. So they still have a lot of games to make a comeback. But definitely stuck here in a tough spot currently.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is just like kind of the story of the day. We've kind of got down to 3-4 teams in phase 5, phase 6, and endgame kind of slowly unfolds here. But it's really going to be an interesting zone here because the 4-man for CK and 3-man for ABN kind of got control of this whole side of the southern side of map. And Circle seems to be pulling a little bit to the north, so they're going to need to come off of these ridges, and all of this quarry activity over here is going to have to pull to the north side.
Wow, Wax doing his best, trying to get the smoke wall down with just 2 smokes, and CK is really not having it here. Down to our final 3 teams, and just like Sento mentioned, we have been getting to the final 4 so quick, and then it kind of slows down here a lot because so many people are just playing aggressive. It seems like NA is just playing super, super aggressive as of late. Hobie, I think, is just going to hide out for placement here. He doesn't really have too many places to go. I think CK is really feeling themselves here because they already have this knock on ABN.
Yeah, they're getting really aggressive. Bizarre is super close, but he had a molly in his hand when he stepped over the top, and he's going to pay for that, actually. And ABN is 3 strong on top of each other here, and it's working out for them. If you take a quick look at them, they are neck and neck right now, just arm in arm, and it is really actually as I mentioned, paying off for them. They take down Bizarre and Pixel, and now CK is reduced to just a 2-man here. So quickly kind of flipping the script on this end game. The thing is, Blitz, they're in a very tough spot on the edge of zone. They're going to want to just push CK as soon as possible here, I think, but CK with Ranger Jr. and Turbot still a force to be reckoned with, putting a couple members, especially Tony, down to 1 shot here. ABN already 13 kills on the board here as they look for more. Just an unbelievable final round here.
Yeah, CK has to be frustrated there that they kind of took that fight one-on-one there, like 1 by 1, which is the classic way to kind of lose your squad a little bit. So they were the only team with 4 strong. They lost it. What's also great about ABN is they're on a roll right now, so they're warmed up, 13 kills. They're looking for blood, and they have a lot of utility and a lot of lethals here as I kind of scroll through, but they lose Tony there from Hobie, who is evening the playing field for CK, and that's really going to hurt ABN that Hobie chose to shoot at them there. But all the smokes.
Yeah, unbelievable. That's our one of our MVPs, kill leaders right there. Hobie still having an effect on this game, and he strikes Turbot. You can see on your screen there, he just lays down another shot. So just putting down some big damage is Hobie over there right now. And
yeah, Hobie's like
of 2,
like a turret over there, just hitting big shots onto both enemy teams here.
Both teams of 2 are going to have to push off of this high ground towards Hobie. So if he gets into the right location on the low side, he might be able to clutch this game up for Affinity here. I'm going to personally blitz him going over there. Hobie is pushing up. He realizes he needs to get onto the low side of this ridge, and he's being proactive about this. He's got the AWM, so he's already kind of put the fear of God into these 2 teams here. And if he can time this right, get to the top of this ridge, he might be able to pick off these kills. Karm is going to take down Turbot with the P90, but Ranger Jr. with a nicely timed nade there. Now we've got a one-on-one between Ranger Jr. There you go.
He caught the knock instead of go. He didn't notice that Ranger was laying down, and Hobie's here, and he's
Hobie just unbelievable timing on there. AFI actually pick up 8 kills and the dub there. They were getting active early on there, blitzing. Unbelievable plays by Hobie. He just timed it perfectly, picking up the final win of the day. CK are going to be a little bit bummed there. Dropped the ball as they sent a couple members to push ABN without the rest of the squad there. They do get 9 kills and a chicken dinner. And a big game as well for ABN, picking up 14 kills and a 3rd place, Blitz.
Stento, that is absolutely insane ending and a great way to end a great series of games here tonight. But if you're ABN, you have to be simultaneously super stoked that you just had 2 amazing back-to-back games. And I keep looking at the leaderboard here because they moved up 2 spots today into 8th place. And with that last game, they should be moving, even further up the leaderboards there. But to come in second to Vigorous after Noxy was laying down, eating pizza behind the UAS on Miramar he was laying down my car for so long that I forgot he was there. Then to lose right there when they had the P90, they had a great push. I think he just didn't see that guy laying down on the grass. Obviously easier for us to see because we're spectating. We have all the name tags. And then for Hobie to come in and get first place is kind of like just adding salt to the wound. But overall, great play for everybody. Congrats to Hobie for sneaking in there and sneaking that dub.
Yeah, such an enjoyable day of games. As you mentioned, it was a pretty aggressive day of games as well. We saw a lot of the end games have 4 people in, like, again, phase 5 or 6. So kind of unconventional for the competitive scene. But amazing plays by some of these teams, catching themselves up, jumping themselves into the qualifying spots. There's a lot more PUBG to be played in the main gaming North American versus Europe showdown. Blitz, we'll be back here tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern for Group B versus Group C, again in the North American section. As you can see here, Group A will be taking a break tomorrow. But that's about going to do it here for us, ladies and gentlemen. One more time, we will be back here on Blitz 5 and Friends channel tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, watching Group B and Group C battle it out. Our classic map rotation, we won't let you forget it here. 5 maps every single night, as we kind of just graze through some of the details of our tournament. But Blitz, that's it for me. Anything else you want to say before we sign off here?
Nah, that's it, man. Great games. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the action, and we'll see you tomorrow, again, 8 p.m. Eastern for another 5 games. NA only, no EU tomorrow, so we won't be going live at 3 p.m. for that broadcast. They'll be back next week. And yeah, stay in touch. We'll see you guys on social media and join the main gaming Discord. Make sure you guys are in there. And we'll see you when we see you. Adios, everybody.
See you tomorrow, guys. Bye.
Buenas noches.